Welcome to nowhere, a desolate planet with a forgotten past, where the only signs of life are trying to hunt you. It's also the place where I crashed my ship. I have to act fast, because the sun is killing me. I have limited food, hardly any water, and with a scorched world like this, that's a problem. But with a little know-how, I'll grow crops from dust, squeeze water from dirt. We'll turn this crash site into a little oasis. Do I have what it takes to survive the sun? This is 100 days on a desolate planet. Well, that's the last time I fly a spaceship. It seems like every time I fly one of those, they always crash. Now, where exactly did we land? Well, from what I see, we have some dust, and a whole lot of dust. Well, that's not true. We do have more than just dust. We have our terminal here. Plus, we also have the contents contained inside of our ship. Inside of this black box here, which was designed to withstand the most extreme disasters, we have some emergency supplies, like a shotgun, a crafting table, a wrench, plus a power core, which can be used to power the few machines we have left. Let's go ahead and collect these. And now that we've officially taken inventory of our supplies, let's pause, cause you're gonna want to hear this. You like playing games, and we all like making money. That's where Cash Giraffe comes in. It's a free gaming loyalty rewards app for both iOS and Android that actually pays you for playing mobile games. They partner with games and advertisers to reward users so you don't have to pay a thing, plus they never collect or share your personal data. No ads, no complicated setup, you just download it, let it track your progress, pick a game and start playing. I tried it myself. Played some games, and it wasn't long before I started earning gems. As you play, you earn gems that you can exchange for rewards like gift cards, cash, or coupons. The more you play, the more you level up, and that means better rewards, like Amazon and PayPal gift cards, which, for those of you in the US, has a payout threshold as low as 50 cents. They also have this new feature called Daily Streak along with other bonuses, which lets you earn even more gems. No credit card, nothing sketchy, you just play games, complete tasks, and earn gems. Simple as that. Grab a head start with up to 3,999 bonus gems by signing up through my link in the description or my QR code here on screen. Download the app and start earning. The time has come to use our terminal, and with it we'll develop a plan, but not before collecting the rewards for doing such a good job. Now, when it comes to excellent planning, you have to take into account the restraints of your situation, like water. We have very little water, and judging by this map, it doesn't look like there are any other sources nearby. Despite our lack of water, there's no reason to panic. The terminal has an answer for all, including which paths we should take. There's the easy route and the hard route. This one is the easy route because you get more power, more food, more water, and more saplings. As for the hard route, well, a couple saplings, some water, and 4 nutrient bricks. That's it. Well, I've never been one to back down from a challenge, especially in Minecraft. So we're gonna go ahead and lock in on the hard route, because, you know, we just hate ourselves that much. I hope I don't regret this. Alright, so we have a couple of saplings, 10 water bottles, although growing the saplings is going to be kind of difficult because the dust is dry and plants won't take root in it. That also means farming is going to prove to be pretty difficult, so we have very little time. Our first priority is to get a dirt block, and to get that dirt block we have to get bone meal. Lucky for us, bone meal is not that difficult to come by. All we have to do is break some dust. And now that we have the dust, you're probably wondering how we get bone meal from it. Well, to do that, we're gonna have to use this oak sieve. We'll place a string mesh in it, and with the dust, we're gonna sift it through the sieve. And slowly but surely, we're gonna get a lot of things, like salt, and some ore, and if we're patient enough, eventually, we'll get some bone meal. Just like that. As you can see, there is a lot of stuff to be collected. You know what else I'd like to collect? Your like and your hype. Do that so I can keep making more videos. We have some bone meal, which means we can submit it into our terminal and claim our reward. A single dirt block, which we'll use to plant our spruce sapling, and hopefully, if we're lucky enough, 3 bone meal will be enough to grow this thing. Fingers crossed. And of course, we have no luck. But by this point, I'm already used to that. Looks like things are starting to swirl and bend around me. I think I'm having a heat stroke. Oh my god, my temperature's 104! My vision is blurring! We gotta get some shade right now. Oh, I can't see. Oh my gosh, everything is spinning. Okay, we're cooling down. The shade seems to be helping. Yeah, that's another thing. We can't spend too much time out in the sun. I guess I'll have to limit my exposure to only a couple minutes at a time. Alright, one more bone meal, one more chance. Can we do it? Thank God we did it. Alright, we have some wood. And as much as I enjoy the shade of this spruce tree, it's gonna have to come down. We need the materials. There we go. Whoa! What an impressive leaf animation. Never seen that before. Ooh, and we have ourselves some saplings. We'll go ahead and place one here, and hopefully this one will grow on its own while we work inside. I spent the next few minutes sifting through more dust. My goal was to collect as many saplings as possible. With day 1 coming to a close, I had only been able to collect 9. Come on, one more tree. Ah, thank God. Alright, we gotta collect this fast. I have a feeling we're about to meet some unpleasant characters. Oh, there they are. Right on schedule. Alright, so in total, 13 saplings, and for now I'm just gonna have to be happy with that, because as you can see, we are surrounded by a number of creatures. There is just no end to the enemies inside here, and if they could get in and kill me, they would. But just because we're confined to the inside of our ship doesn't mean we have to stop working. Throughout the day, I was able to gather a decent amount of wood. Plus, all of that sifting yielded some of this. Stone pebbles, which when combined in a 2x2 grid gives you cobblestone. Now naturally, my first line of thought would be to make a shovel to break more dust. Well, it just so happens that making a shovel the old-fashioned way is not going to prove to be very useful. Yeah, regular crafted tools don't work here. Thankfully, our spaceship crashed with a treasure trove of knowledge. We have some books here, one of which is a very useful publication, which teaches us how to make tools the right way. It's time to do a little Tinker's Construct. Look at that. It's even a branch in our quest line. To get started, we have to make 2 things. A Tinker Station and a Part Builder. Now when it comes to making these items, thank God they are relatively cheap. With that, you have your Tinker Station, and then for the Part Builder, 2 planks plus a couple patterns, and there you go. A simple setup that's going to allow us to make tools and weapons. Oh, looks like the sun's rising. Although not everything is burning, I don't know how I feel about that. We'll give it a second before the greater population chooses to disperse. Anywho, we were making tools. The first thing we'll want to make is a tool handle, which allows us to complete this quest. We'll go ahead and claim our reward. And now that we have a tool handle, it all comes down to which tool we want to make. But most of them require collecting bones, which, to be honest, I don't feel like doing because I don't want to die. So we'll make the most basic tools out of wood instead. We got a ton of tool parts. The question is, how do we bring them together? Well, now we're going to use the Tinker Station. This is basically like an anvil that allows you to combine everything together. First thing I'll want to do is make myself a sword. Not the best sword, but something is better than nothing, considering that we only have 16 shotgun shells. Next, I'll probably want to make an axe, just to chop the trees down more quickly. And then one thing I thought was extremely interesting was in the Part Builder, you can actually make armor out of cobblestone. Now that we have some basic tools and weapons, I think we can attempt to clear these enemies out, although that is a supercharged creeper, and that is a normal creeper. Guess we're gonna have to rely on the shotgun just to be safe, because I need to go outside and plant more trees. Alright, here we go. Ooh, that is effective. Oh my god, that was so close. He almost blew up. Alright, we'll save the shotgun shells for more dangerous enemies. The spider will use the sword. Oh, this axe chops painfully slow. More spiders. Let's deal with those. We'll hold on to the string. The string is going to be very useful later. Alright, the enemies are gone. I think the next thing I want to do before continuing our tree task is to fortify this area a little bit. I don't want to lose progress just because the sun sets and the mobs start swarming our door. Alright, a simple wall should do the trick. Actually, maybe I should make this wall out of dust. Oh my god, I'm burning up. Can I cool down in this water? There's a water leak over here. Will this work? Oh, what the heck is that? Ooh, that does work in cooling you down. Alright, we'll have to keep that in mind for later. After nearly having a heat stroke, I decided it was time to start building my fortifications. I kept it simple. A wall made out of dust, and a little trench around it. Something to deter the spiders from climbing over the wall. Alright, fingers crossed this is gonna be good enough. Alright, we barely finished. The sun is setting again. Plus, we have a ton of dust. My only concern is that it's going to be dark here, so we're going to have to make torches. Thankfully, making torches won't be that difficult. We do have enough cobblestone. We can go ahead and craft a furnace. Just place that there. That should allow us to claim some charcoal as a reward for making it. And with that, we have some torches. Go ahead and place these around. Not trying to have creepers spawn in here. Nice and illuminated. And it looks like the monster party is already started. Look at all of those enemies on the map. Luckily for us, well, for me at least, I feel pretty safe right now. I even fortified above. I was a little worried things were going to crawl over from the other side. Okay, so we're safe, plus we have some rewards to claim. This time we have to pick which one we want, so we can go with the iron axe head or a rose gold tool handle. Well, I say the iron axe head. As for this quest, we're gonna get a heart amulet. Plus, we have the option to pick a heart canister, 32 extra shotgun shells, or a bronze blade. I'm kinda leaning towards the shotgun shells, to be honest. Although the heart canisters do look a little more difficult to come by. Alright, fine, we're picking the heart canister. I mean, it makes sense. We have the heart amulet. And the heart amulet is used to carry the canister, so what's the point of having it if we can't use it? So there we go. And as you can see, our health increased. Can't really tell by how much though. And then now that we have the iron axe head, let's go ahead and combine these to make a proper iron axe. Or, eventually we will be able to melt this down. It's gonna give us 2 iron ingots. Maybe we should save this for that. Just played it safe, we don't know when we're gonna get iron, and I tried. Look, despite the fact that we have an iron ore chunk, I'm not able to smelt it in a furnace, so it's as good as useless for now. We'll go ahead and store that in there along with our other materials. Now so far I think we've done pretty well for ourselves. Look, even the tree grew. The only problem is that my food and water supply is dangerously low. At this rate I'm gonna have to start eating rotten flesh. But is that actually a bad thing? Well, if you prepare it properly, it doesn't have to be. By combining rotten flesh with some salt, you get zombie jerky. Now, it's not the best food, plus there's a small chance it'll harm you when you eat it. But in my opinion, it's a whole lot better than starving to death. Now to address our water situation. We do have a tool that can help us gather more, although it comes at the cost of our spruce saplings. The machine is lacking power. Thankfully, we do have a small power core that we brought with us, which will power this machine just long enough for us to get water out of these saplings. All we have to do is sacrifice 4 of them, and eventually we'll have at least 1 bottle's worth of the stuff. And there it is, 1 water bottle. Now that you understand the cost of water, you can understand my sense of urgency to grow as many trees as possible. More trees means more saplings, which means more water. Well, that was our food and water situation. Let's get back to it. Oh my god, this is why we built the wall. Do you see that? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Sneaky little fella. Out of sheer paranoia, I'm just gonna extend this. You know what? Seeing as how it's daytime and the worst of them have cleared out, I think we should take this opportunity to restock on our rotten flesh supplies. Oh my god. Ah! That thing has super jump! Oh my god. Okay, never mind. So now that we understand our priority is to gather as many saplings as possible, we're gonna have to make a tool that does just that. Introducing the wooden crook. One of the cheapest yet most life-saving tools on our journey. With this, it's gonna triple our chances of gathering saplings. Oh, it grew. Perfect. So we can figure this out. So I think all we have to do is break the block, and it should increase our chances, although I'm not really seeing it yet. Alright, there's 1 sapling. Oh, here we go. Unless we're supposed to chop the tree down first. I think we're supposed to chop the tree down first. Hold on. Leaves are coming down. Nope, I think we were supposed to break the leaves when the leaves were still attached to the tree. You know what? This would be a whole lot faster if we had more than 1 dirt block. Growing 1 tree at a time really isn't cutting it. Thankfully, we do have a way to conjure more dirt. We're gonna have to craft ourselves a barrel. You place the barrel down, and then with the saplings that we have, God, saplings are so precious right now, we're gonna put them in the barrel, and eventually they're gonna compost into dirt. It takes a little while, but it's gonna be worth it. And there we go. We have ourselves 1 lovely block of dirt. I've never been more happy to have dirt in my life. Essentially, this means we can grow 2 trees at a time now. Hopefully they have enough space. Our reward for doing this task, some seeds. Oh my god. We actually have wheat seeds now. That's a huge deal. Where are we gonna get the water to grow these seeds, though? We're gonna have to use more saplings, aren't we? If we're gonna want to use these wheat seeds, then we need water. And so far, the only water I'm aware of is right out here, leaking out into the desert. Now, if we could scoop that water, we'd be in business. The only problem is that to make a bucket, we need iron. And all we have are these iron chunks, which, may I remind you, will not smelt in a furnace. Look at that. If we want to make a bucket, then we have to melt the iron. And to do that, we finally have to make ourselves a forge of some kind. Alright, it's daytime. We'll have to be quick, but I think we can gather the clay block. Oh my god, what is this? It's an infestation is what it is. And right there is my clay block. We'll have to take care of this. Get lost! Okay, they're all gone. Okay, now we can get the clay. I think. I hope. I pray. Oh, there's a lot of clay here. Alright, we got it. We got it. And there's an Enderman in here. Alright, we'll have to be careful around him. The next thing we have to do is combine clay with bone meal. It's gonna make porcelain clay. Don't mind the Enderman doing a few spins on my oak sieve. He's just having the time of his life while we're struggling for ours. Right, some clay, some bone meal. We need 7 of these. Beautiful. And then we'll go ahead and craft them into a porcelain crucible. Into the furnace you go. Alright, so while that is cooking up, let's go see if our trees have grown because we need more water. And they have not. Oh boy. We're kind of cutting it close here now. So this is done. Nice, lovely. Which means we can claim our rewards. Do we want a blade cast, an ingot cast, or a pickaxe head cast? I think I'm leaning towards the ingot cast. So we have our porcelain crucible, which we can place a torch underneath, and I think this is going to act as a heat source, allowing us to melt metals inside of this container. On top of that, we have our seared casting table, which was one of the rewards for completing the crucible quest. We also have a seared faucet. We'll place this onto the crucible, and with this, we'll be able to drain the contents of the porcelain crucible. So let's see if we can actually melt stuff down. Our last and final reward was a gold cast. This is how we're going to get our ingots. Inside of our chest, we have some chunks of ore. Let's take our iron ore, and hopefully, we can melt it down. Oh, and as you can see, the level of molten iron is climbing, which means this torch is the perfect heat source. I would use lava. There is lava outside, but lava's going to raise the temperature inside of this place, and I don't feel like burning up today. 90 millibuckets. I believe that's enough to make 1 ingot. Let's find out. Why isn't this... Oh, it did pour. I got a little scared. Usually there's a pouring animation. I didn't see it this time. But we have 1 iron ingot. Nice. We'll just dump all of this in there, and hopefully we'll have enough to make a bucket. Ingot number 2, and then this last one should be ingot number 3. We have 3 iron ingots, which means it's time to make ourselves a bucket. Oh my god, this is a big deal. Huge deal. Let's go scoop up that water out there. Oh, we barely reached it. Wait, what kind of water is this? It's dirty water. Okay, guess we can't drink this, but we can still farm with it. At least I think we can. Alright, let's make some more dirt. Ooh, the dirt's done. Place this here. And now we have to till the soil. I don't have a hoe, and I don't think I can craft one. Instead, we're gonna make a tool called a mattock. Or mattock? I don't know. But it can be used for tilling. And now that we have this, we are finally farmers. Ah, yes. Whoa, that is growing quickly. It's already at 14%. That was incredibly close. I was about to say, now that we're waiting for the crops to grow, let's restock on some groceries. And by groceries, well, I mean more rotten flesh. So the goal is to speed things up. And to do that, we're going to have to make something new. We can speed up crop growth by making a watering can. 4 planks, a bowl, and you're all set. I'm a little nervous, guys. The watering can is our key to infinite crop growth, but I'm afraid that if I scoop this up, it's gonna go away. So fingers crossed this is infinite. Of course not. Of course not! Oh well. Well, we have wheat. Came at the cost of our only water source block, but we have it. It's okay. We have a lot of saplings. I think we can make more. Alright, we got 1 water bucket's worth. Pour that there. And hopefully we can make an infinite source of this. But for now, let's grow more crops. I spent the next few minutes trying to improve my dirt situation. There were plenty of seeds, but nowhere to plant them. Thankfully, there was some utility to them. We can actually add them to our barrel to make more dirt. Dirt block number 2. Alright, now we can grow double the crops. Ooh, I almost forgot to claim our rewards. So now that we have wheat, we get 2 water bottles, plus we have the option of getting another seed or some rice. I think we're gonna go with the rice. Hopefully we can plant it. Nice, we got some rice. And if we take the wheat and combine it to make bread, we get another reward. 2 hay bales or 2 rice blocks? I think we'll go with the hay bales. So we have our water, we have our crops, we have our forge set up here, which is actually melting copper. What we don't have is an efficient sieve system. This is taking too long. So what's better than 1 sieve? Well, 2 sieves, naturally. This one is missing a mesh. Thankfully, we can craft one with all the string we've collected. There we go. And to make our dust process more efficient, we're going to make a new tool, a pick-adze. Not pickaxe, pick-adze. For some reason, we can't make shovels, but we can make this. And with this, we can mine dust a little more quickly. Actually, I think it's kind of the same. So now that we have a decent amount of dust, check this out. 2 sieves, they're connected, which means you can process twice as much dust at the same time, which means twice as much material is being collected. So not only can we get bone meal quickly, but we can grow trees more quickly as well. The only problem is actually collecting the leaves, and it's not so much having to collect the leaves that's the problem. It's standing in the sun. The sun is beating down on us at all hours of the day, and it's just causing me to overheat way too quickly. Thankfully, the solution to overheating lies here in this chest, with this little worm. This is a silkworm, and with it, we can use it to infest trees. The silkworm will take home in these leaves and create silk, or string. And once we have enough, we can weave it into this fine desert clothing that should keep our body temperature low, allowing us to work outdoors for much longer periods of time, provided there are no creepers there to kill us. Now for this to work, we're gonna have to make sure that we have more space to plant more trees. So it's time to do a little expansion over here. There we go, this should be enough space. We got our dirt right here, plant the sapling, and now all we have to do is grow a tree. We have the silkworm, let's add it, and well, there it is. And that gave us more silkworms. So these leaves are fully infested, which makes me wonder how this works. Oh, it literally just spreads like that. Wow. Okay, well, what happens if I break this? Nothing. That was a bad idea. Okay, we'll leave this alone until this is done. So while we're waiting for that to get infested, one thing I want to note is that our tools are actually improving themselves somehow. We started with a base tool like the Mattock. You see, it's only got cultivating 3 and tilling. Well, these 2 tools down here started the same way, but the more I use them, the more abilities they got. Like this wooden hand axe, it has magnetic 1, which pulls item towards you. So this is a pretty new feature I was not aware of. Just something I wanted to comment on. How did a zombie get in here? Don't like that. Oh, looks like our rice is almost done. Let's give it a little bone meal. Lovely. Gives us a rice pinnacle. How do we get rice from this? Oh, just like that. And then I assume we just put it in a bowl, right? No, how do you cook this? Oh, we need a pot. That is expensive. We gotta get ore faster. Judging by the look of this, I think we can start harvesting the silk. I wonder if it's even gonna show us silk or a string. Oh, wait a minute. It's just string. Oh, I guess that's good too. No more having to kill spiders. We got 38 string. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now to make the actual clothing, we'll need some leather as well as some wool. Lucky for us, that's not that hard to come by. Unfortunately, all the rotten flesh, I ate it all. So we'll just have to wait for the sun to set before we worry about that again. Thankfully, our next job doesn't require us to be outside. It's been a couple of days and we have yet to discover this planet's mining potential. According to the terminal, if we dig deep enough, we should be able to hit Desolate. Oh, I think we've dug outside of the ship already. Well, what if we just dig straight down? Oh my god, it really is all dust! There's no end to it! Actually having to repair our tool deep underground. Alright, finally we're getting somewhere. We got some gravel, although I have a feeling it's gonna be a while until we get some deep slate. Oh, crushed deep slate. It's already crushed. Everything here is a sand. Also, why am I just realizing that there was a layer of sand we were digging through? When did we get to the sand? Alright, I think we're good. Let's go back. Uh-oh, we're out of water. Oh, we gotta hurry up. We have to hurry up right now. God, the water restriction is so annoying. It ticks down so quickly. Gonna have to go through our saplings. Come on, give me a sapling. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Hurry up! We'll have to eat one of these hearts. Alright, that bought us a little time. I just realized, by the way, that you can boil the water. I didn't know that. And we're safe. For now. Just for now. Honestly, we should have been boiling water this whole time. It gives you so much more saturation when you drink. Look at that, just 2 bottles and we're already full. Well, almost full. Now there were a few benefits to getting all these blocks. Let's start with the sand. Aside from its many utilities, sand can also be used in our smelting process. We can use sand to make stencils, or I guess casts, to pour metals into, which is useful for upgrading our tools. As useful as these things have been, I think it's finally time for a little upgrade. We do have plenty of copper. It's just that up until now we haven't been able to use it because if we melt it down, well, if we pour it out, all we're going to get is more ingots. We need a new cast. In Tinker's Construct, you can make multiple casts. The only problem is you need gold. But if you're broke, you can make them out of sand, and use them at least once. Whereas the gold ones, you can use them as many times as you want. Now to make a cast out of sand, you first have to make a new part. So we're going to take some planks, put them in the part builder, then we're going to pick what we want to make. In this case, a pick head. We'll take that, and now that we have it, the next thing is to just take sand, put it in your crafting space, and as you can see we have what looks like a sand panel. You'll need those. Place it on the table, add the wood pickaxe head. The pickaxe head is now embedded in the sand. By removing the pickaxe head you'll see that it's hollow, but the impression remains, allowing us to pour metals in to make our tool parts. Let's make a copper pickaxe. So I went ahead and did the same thing for an axe head, which we're going to use to make, well, an axe. Should prove to be a lot more useful than what we're using now. This is still a pretty basic tool, but when compared to what we're using, it is so much better. A mining speed of 5. Compare that to our mining speed of 0.5. This thing is phenomenally better. Oh, look how quickly it breaks blocks. I love it. I miss this. We are back in business. I ended up doing the same thing with the other tools, upgrading them as well. Then I tested my new sword on a giant spider, which despite being giant only dropped 1 string. Come on. We need rotten flesh. Getting a little dicey now. Uh-oh. It's going south real fast. So despite the fact that I almost kicked the bucket, we have some rotten flesh. Let's go ahead and cook this in our furnace. And now we have leather. I know we got a little sidetracked there, but now that we have these materials, we can finally put together this, our desert clothing. We'll start with the chest plate, seeing as how it's the most expensive. And this should give us some resistance to the heat. Let's see how this looks. Oh, not bad. Not bad at all. Next we'll do the pants. Perfect. Oh, it even gives us armor points. I just realized that. Of course, we can't forget these stylish shoes. And to top it off, a nice cap just to keep our head cool. And with this, we've completed our look. We are suited for the desert. Good timing too. The sun is rising. After making my clothing, I found myself somewhat struggling. Due to lack of food and water, plus all the enemies, it was a little difficult to get anything done. Every time I wanted to work, my water was always ticking downwards, as was my hunger bar. The fact that I had to stop to drink water every minute was extremely time-consuming. At this point, the main goal was to get the farm as big as possible, but to do so, I had to collect as many saplings as I could. Thankfully, now I had the armor to protect me from the sun, although sometimes I had the occasional visitor whose damage would set me back a couple days. My god, it takes like a year to add another dirt block. There's gotta be a faster way. That's when I had the bright idea of expanding my tree farm. All we're gonna do is build a platform, that's it. Simple as that. We're gonna have a little rooftop garden. Well, more like a rooftop forest. Hopefully, we'll be safe up here. So far, no skeletons are shooting me, which is a good sign. Usually they would have started by now. Although the spiders... Oh, I spoke too soon. We need a lot of bones. I need bone meal. I think we're gonna let the mobs in. Here they come. This is good, though. Oh, I don't know about that. Like I was saying, we're gonna make a tree farm up here. Ooh, it's the purple one. That one jumps. Back up. Oh my god. You know what? While we're at it, let's make some beds. We do have a ton of string to spare now. Good night. Oh, I forgot. Oh my god. Where are they? Oh my god! Well, that worked out. Oh, and he dropped a head. What if I try sleeping underground? Will that help? Yeah, all the way down here. Ah, yes! Beautiful. Good morning. I just had an idea. As you can probably tell, I've been sifting through a lot of dust. And all that dust, it's yielded some iron, which means that the 2 iron ingots that we already have, I think we can spare them to make some shears. Up until now, we've been using saplings to make compost, which over time makes a dirt block. But instead of using precious saplings, why don't we just use leaves? Let's see how much that'll give us. Oh my god, it works just as well, if not better. So there it is. Every other tree that we grow is going to be used to make more dirt. Something tells me we're going to need more composters. Finally! I think I see the light at the end of the tunnel now. Looks like our trees up here haven't grown yet. No problem. We'll give them some more time. Add 2 more friends to the party. If all goes well, and I believe it will, we will have more trees than we know what to do with, and more trees means more water, which is good because all the water in my body is evaporating from just walking. This planet stinks. So the tree farm is expanding quite nicely on the upper level, but our farm down here, well, it's grown. The crops aren't really growing as quickly as I'd like. I think it has something to do with the quality of our soil. It's plain, it lacks nutrients, so let's go ahead and fix that. According to the quest log, there is a better type of dirt, known as rich soil. We can put that together by making some compost. And to make compost, well, we need a few things. A couple rotten flesh, some bone meal, and any type of grain, or weed. In this case, I think we'll use wheat. Now, the only thing I'm a little low on is bone meal. And this pickaxe is just way too slow at mining, so I'm just gonna go ahead and upgrade it. Essentially, I'm making the same tool, but this one should mine a little faster. Alright, let's see. Honestly, I can't really tell. It feels the same, but the numbers say otherwise. Oh well, at least it has better durability. And the reason we wanted this dust was because, like I said, we need bone meal. And this is the only place to get it. Well, unless I want to go kill skeletons, which I don't. We are processing now, oh my god. Oh, and if you didn't notice, I added a couple extra sieves. We have our wheat, bone meal, rotten flesh, and dirt. Couple blocks just to see how it goes. No, we go for a few blocks. And now I believe all we have to do is let it convert into rich soil. So we'll just give this a few minutes or a few days, however long it takes, but once it's matured, then we'll be able to farm on it and grow crops more quickly. Well, look at that. Looks like our trees have taken quite a liking to their new home. So, I don't even know how this happened, but somehow we have a chicken inside. That is a huge deal, because that means we have eggs. I don't know if the farm spawned him or what, but he's here now, and he's here to stay. Looks like one of our soil pieces are done. Beautiful, now we can farm well. I'm gonna make a point of checking this off, because in return we get 4 more blocks of rich soil. The question is, how much faster will it be to actually grow food now? Well, here's hoping it won't be long. I kind of feel like we have it down with the farming and the trees now, but one thing I'm concerned about is our centrifugal separator. Well, not that, our flux capacitor. This thing is starting to run out of power, and when that happens, we're as good as dead. No power means no water. We're almost halfway through basic survival, so we better get the ball rolling and start speedrunning some of these achievements. I think we should start here. It would be extremely helpful if we had more ores, so we're gonna make a flint mesh to do that. In case you didn't know, there are 3 types of meshes. You have the basic one, the flint mesh, and the iron mesh. So this one is in the middle. All we need are 4 pieces of flint and a mesh. Question is, am I able to take these meshes off and upgrade them? Yes, I am. Oh, thank God. Thought I was gonna have to go kill spiders. Now, lucky for us, we already have a few pieces of flint. All we have to do is place the mesh in the middle, and with that, a flint mesh. Let's go ahead and add this here. And because we already have tons of gravel, we'll go ahead and sift through this, and hopefully we'll get some more flint back just to make even more of these meshes. Ooh, we're already getting ore, look at that. Not even a minute into this, and we're already turning a profit. Plus, we have something new. What is that? We actually have 10, not bad. We got 17 iron chunks, 6 copper chunks, 6 gold chunks, and 8 tin chunks. I think we'll want to collect more gravel. Speaking of collecting, it's time to claim our reward. Do we value gold or iron more? You know what, let's go for iron. 16 iron ore. My God, I'll save that for later. Now, if we want to get more gravel, there is a tool we can use. Very basic tool. You may have heard of it. It's called a hammer. Now, this wooden crushing hammer has a very interesting ability. Alright, so we got this cobblestone block right here. With the wooden crushing hammer, all we have to do is break it, and it converts into gravel. Now that would be useful if this was a regular Minecraft world. Unfortunately, this is a world full of dust, so I can't really imagine us using this much. Unless, of course, we wanted to pulverize sand into dust, which we have the option. But for the sake of completing this pack, I bothered to make one. One less thing on our list, plus we get more gravel. You know what, I guess it can be useful in this instance. I need one more piece of flint to complete all of my meshes, and we have these cobblestone blocks which we're breaking down into gravel. Hopefully one of these will drop a piece of flint. Come on. And that's the last one. Our setup is complete. So not only can we find tons of ores by sifting through gravel, we can also sift through sand and deep slate. By doing so, we have a small chance of finding some of these uncommon ores. Here's hoping we get something good. Oh my god, we already got an emerald. Whoa! I think this is actually better than mining. Well, we're not finding the uncommon stuff, but we are finding a lot of the regular stuff. As for the sand, that is dropping a lot of quartz. Oh, and what is that? Certus quartz. Ooh. We all love Certus quartz. So I sifted through everything and I found some of these ores, but we're still missing a few. So we're pretty good on our iron situation right now, which leads me to believe that we can probably start using it a little more sparingly. With the excess iron, we're gonna make this. Finally, we have a cooking pot. Of course, every cooking pot needs a heat source. Hopefully this won't kill the chicken. Haha, much better. And now that we have this, let's go ahead and claim our free bowls. And with them, we can finally add our rice, plus some bowls down here, which gives us a tasty bowl of, well, just rice. Oh, thank God. Finally, we are getting somewhere. It's a good thing, too. I was starving. But you know what? This thing can do more than just rice bowls. Most decent dinners do have a protein element, and because we only have one chicken, we'll have to compensate for that. But who needs regular protein like cows, chicken, and sheep when you have alternative sources in the form of spiders? That's right. We're gonna make ourselves a delicious bowl of bug broth, because for some reason, it's not a Doublesal video unless we're eating bugs at one point. Gives you 5.5% proteins plus 2.5% vegetables. I have no idea where the vegetables come from because all we added were spider eyes and salt. But who am I to question the sciences of cooking? Down the hatch. Well, it wasn't the best, but like I said, better than starving. Well, we're not hungry anymore, but we are going to work up a thirst pretty soon. And like I said before, our flux capacitor, it's running out of power, so we'll have to find an alternative source of water. Now, there are a couple ways to go about this, but I think the best way is to get cactus seeds. And to get that, you have to sift dirt through a sieve. Now, the reason we want cactus seeds is obviously to grow cactus. It's a versatile plant with multiple utilities, but above all else, if you crush a cactus, you don't just get green dye, you also get 1 bottle's worth of water from 1 block of cactus. If we have a cactus farm, that solves our water problem forever. So we have to pray that one of these lavender blocks will yield 1 cactus seed. Just 1. Alright, we got what look like tomato seeds and a bunch of cobblestone pebbles and wheat seeds. Oh, and potato seeds. Ooh, but that's you know what? Potatoes aren't that bad. I like potatoes. Honestly, I'll take that over the wheat, to be honest. Looking at it now, cactus seeds have a 0.3% chance of spawning. It is a massive long shot, and I think we're gonna waste a lot of dirt trying to get that. Wait a minute. We can extract water from dirt for 250 millibuckets. 1 bottle's worth from dirt. Well, this changes everything. I guess I'm back on dirt duty. I don't know about this, folks. It just seems too good to be true. It is true. We get a bottle of dirty water, and we don't even have to put it in the machine. Wait, what if I boil this? Will this clean it up? Because that water looks very dirty. Oh my god, it cleaned it. Okay, I never thought I'd say this, but let's eat some more dirt. I spent the next couple of days shearing as many trees as possible. I also crafted more barrels to up my dirt production. I was gonna need a ton of water for what was coming up next. Up until now, our main focus has been getting the essentials. But I think it's finally time to spread our wings and fly. There's a vast world out there, and we have to explore it. Now, before we begin our journey out into the desert, there's one thing we have to do first. We need a solid set of iron armor. The only problem is that when I put it on, I won't have protection from the sun. To keep myself from overheating, I'll have to craft a heat shield. This is leather insulation. In short, it's gonna go under my armor and keep me cool. Luckily for me, I've been saving my pieces of rotten flesh, which means I have just enough to craft this item. There we go. So where do we actually put this on? Well, you don't add it to any of the armor slots. In fact, it's actually a bauble. We have plenty of bauble slots here. That's where we're storing our heart amulet. We're going to take our insulation and put it in the insulation slot, which I didn't even know was a thing. I think it's that one. Ooh, there's even a slot for our crafting on a stick. So now that we have this, we'll be somewhat protected from the sun. It's not going to shield us effectively as this does, but it's better than nothing. It also means that once this is all done melting down, we'll be able to craft some armor. What the heck, let's make some now. Oh, I don't have enough. And there we go, our first piece. So melting down the iron has taken a lot longer than I thought it would. So while we wait, let's expand this farm. I think it's safe to say we have a little excess dirt that we can use. Ignore the fact that I'm about to die. I tried to get more rotten flesh to make more of this rich soil. It didn't work. Let's go ahead and take all of the soil, transfer it over to the back. So we'll put the rich soil here, only the prime stuff, and then the rest just regular dirt. Alright, perfect. I kind of prefer potatoes over bread, so we'll put these in the rich farm soil. We'll want to grow these as quickly as possible. And then I'll be really basic about the rest, just wheat. You know, one thing I didn't notice was that if you go into the inventory and click this apple icon, it shows you how balanced your diet is. As you can see, our diet's not very balanced. We've been living off of grains, a little bit of protein, surprisingly some vegetables. I think that's from the potatoes, but no fruit and absolutely zero sugar. Wow. So it's not just for show. It actually affects your body. See here, it affects our attack speed, our regular speed, our mining speed. Right now, our regen speed is actually a little hindered by the fact that we haven't eaten any sugar. At least I'm assuming the sugar's at play here because it's at 0. So the goal is to have these all balanced, all maxed out, and that should play out better for us. We need sugar. Am I going to prioritize it? No, not really. Just something to keep in mind. Looks like this is done melting. And now the slow agonizing process of pouring each ingot into the mold one by one. So we're down to 9 iron ingots, which leaves us just enough to make a single chest plate. And you know what? 1 chest plate? I think I'm fine with this. We don't have to be fully suited up. This is pretty good. Oh my god, I got diamonds. Right now I'm circling back to complete the metal detector quest. We have tin. We're still trying to get nickel, zinc, I think, what is this, silver? And this one is lead, yeah. And just by chance, I got a diamond. Not bad. I think I have everything except nickel, and for some reason, nickel is proving to be extremely rare. You only get it from sifting sand and gravel. Well, I'm going through my gravel right now. I still have a lot of sand, but I've gone through what feels like stacks, and I haven't found a single piece of nickel yet from sifting sand or gravel, so I know I'm not crazy. Oh my god, we finally got 1 piece. Oh no, it's silver. Alright, let's see what the rarity is. 2%? Is nickel actually that rare in real life? If we make a gold mesh, the odds go up to 9.6. Yeah, I think we'll make a gold mesh. Oh, we have to make an iron one first. That's fine. Let's do that. Alright, I got my iron. We're gonna take these out. You know, these meshes are getting a little expensive now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so we have the iron tier. And looking at it now, earlier I said there were 3 meshes. There's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 meshes going all the way up to netherite. I guess we can try for nickel now. Okay, this works. Finally, we have enough to make a nickel ore. Let's go ahead and smelt that. We'll do the same for zinc. I don't think we have any zinc yet either. And that should be it. We have them all, and we're rewarded with 3 diamonds and a gold mesh. Oh no, it's either or. I'll take the diamonds. Now that that's all taken care of, I think it's safe to say that we're ready to go outside. These 2 are not going to want to let me pass, but we'll walk past them. We'll be quick about it. We have water. I have tons of baked potatoes. I think we're good to go. All we have to do now is pray that we find something. You may have noticed that I put a beacon on our house. It's not a real beacon, it's just a map beacon. So that way, if we ever get lost, well, we know which way to go. Now the big question. Are we going to actually find anything out here? Well, according to our logs, there are ruins that we can stumble across. All we have to do is keep a sharp eye out for them, because in those ruins, there's some pretty valuable loot. Loot that can only be scavenged from there. And what is that? Is that a ruin? No, that looks like a block. Okay, never mind. I also want to be mindful about my water intake. If for any reason that we have to run, we want to make sure that our water and our hunger bar is full. And wow, that did not take nearly as long as I thought it would. Those are ruins. But there's one thing I know about Minecraft ruins is that they're always infested with something. What are these going to be infested with? I have yet to encounter a mod pack that lets me wander into any abandoned city without fearing for my life. I'm talking about URL craft. Alright, so we have what looks like the ruins of a metropolitan area. Clear signs of roads, or what were once roads. And as far as I'm aware, there are no parasites in this mod pack, so if there are zombies and skeletons, they can't come outside. Oh, this place is massive, and I'm glad we checked the map, because look at that. What do you see in the buildings? That is a poisonous cave spider. We are not going there. Let's make our way for the center of town. Pretty impressive, though. These are obviously custom assets, unless I'm like way off, but I've never seen these buildings in other mod packs before. That one maybe. That one looks familiar. A chest! And a spawner. You see that spawner? Please be something good. What the heck is this? Trash pile. We'll take that. I'm sure we can do something with it. And a map. Energy research map. Think that may be important later. X marks the spot. Probably a power plant of some kind. I'm nervous. I don't even know where to start. Okay, I hear skeletons. That's not that bad. And pigmen? I did hear pigmen. I'm not crazy. This is a kitchen, and inside, food! Oh my gosh, we have beans, rice, a nutrient brick, peanut butter. Oh my god, this is why we do what we do. Yeah, we're taking all this. What do we do with the dust pile? Oh, it just makes dust. Candied peanuts. Eating too much sugar will give weakness. Oh, this is for sugar. Yeah, we're taking these. We got water and sweet berries. We can grow sweet berries. All right, well, if this place had a kitchen, I bet the rest of the buildings will have kitchens too. I hear monsters up there, but I don't really feel like confronting them right now. So far, things are going well, and I'd hate to die already. Let's check out this workshop building. Oh, there is a spawner there. Ooh, multiple spawners. And this window's broken. Uh-oh. Nope. I didn't realize the window was broken until now. Yeah, that spider was gonna bite my face off. How are you outside? You have no survival instinct. And then there's you, blowing up my loot. We have a bin and crates. Wait, the crates do have inventories. Come on, man, just leave me alone. So we have a jungle seed, turns into a jungle sapling. We'll take that. Huh? Are you already hostile? Yeah, I think you are. Why do I do so little damage to you? Can't believe it's come to this. But if I take damage, it's gonna eat away at my food. I think I saw some crates I could grab through the window. Yeah, right there. Perfect. Books. We may want books for enchanting. Yeah, we'll take those. More trash piles. Can we do anything with these? Now this is more interesting. We have what look like microchips. Failed PCB. Okay, don't know if we need that. Can we do anything with it? We can. PCB blueprint. Oh my gosh, I'm running out of inventory space. You know what? We can make a backpack. Let's do that. First, the sun is setting. We're gonna have to go ahead and block the door. We are closing ourselves in. Don't feel like dying today. Top of that, we're down to 13, 12, 11 water bottles. Oh wait, I can't make a backpack. I need string. The sun has set. The monsters are out. And I have permanent weakness. We have to eat some proteins. Do I dare explore the rest of this tower while it's nighttime? I think this building is safe. I'm looking at the map here where the hostile enemies are, and I don't see anything in here. Next door, yeah, but here? Yeah, this building is spawner free. That's a relief. Honestly, thank God these buildings are stacked with food. I would not have lasted if they weren't. One thing I am noticing is that a lot of these cabinets have plastic scraps. What was that? I'm gonna break these stairs. Don't want anything coming up. Good call. Wow, good call on my part. Did you see that? Look at him. You're not getting up here. Now, what can we do with plastic scraps? Oh, we can make plastic. Do we want plastic, though? Well, it makes you these plastic blocks. We also have plastic sheets. What do we use plastic sheets for? We use it to make something called insulated hydraulic fabric. And that's used to craft a still suit? the things that the desert people in Dune wear. It's like a black suit and it keeps water inside of their bodies and it recycles sweat and pee and it just keeps them hydrated. That's what we need. We need a still suit because, like I said, every time I walk, look at that. I am just evaporating every single drop of water in my body. Are we getting a sandstorm? What is this? Why is everything so foggy? We'll worry about that later. But yeah, we need a still suit. And if plastic is the key, then we're taking plastic. This place is loaded with plastic scraps. Guess that goes to show that even in a desolate planet like this, you can't escape the ravages of microplastics. Alright, it's time to make an executive decision. Seeing as how our inventory is completely full and we don't have the materials to make a backpack, I think it's time to head back. The goal was to discover any ruins and, well, I think we succeeded at that. I think it's safe to say we excelled at that, really. This place is massive, and if we're gonna explore this place properly, then we need all the materials and all the weapons and tools and gear to do it right. It's time to go home for now. We'll be back, though. What is with this weather? It's so foggy now. It's not a sandstorm. You know what, though? I wonder if it's actually protecting us from the sun. Anyways, home sweet home. We have a lot to unpack here. So throughout our expedition today, we got 1.5 stacks of gold, 22 iron ingots. No, wait, we brought that with us. 3 diamonds, tons of plastic. Not only that, but we got tons of seeds. I think the first thing I'm going to do is plant these beans. These beans are a great source of protein, and that should compensate for the weakness that we've been experiencing. Finally, we'll be able to fight mobs. Now, where do I actually plant these? Well, I guess I could plant them in here. Do they need water, though? Let's try it without water. No, they do look like they need water. What am I thinking? All plants need water. Alright, let's get them some water. Alright, we got a bucket's worth. And by the way, if you're wondering why I haven't tried to make an infinite water source, I tried it in a creative world. The water is not infinite. Even if I place them in the classic 2x2 style, it's not infinite. So yeah, they really designed this pack to make you ration water. So we got the beans nice and hydrated. We did get other things too, which is gonna lead me to break this, because the next thing I'm about to plant are sugarcane seeds, which aren't planting. Wait, is it like regular sugarcane? Oh, it is like regular sugarcane. Alright, so we'll just leave this alone for now. I was gonna plant these candied peanuts, and then I realized they're candied peanuts, so I don't think you can plant these anymore. Next, we got all this gold. So I think it's only natural that we upgrade our meshes. Yes, it is expensive, but that city was a godsend, which is why we're able to do this now. Fantastic, and we still have tons of gold to spare. Look how amazing this looks. Oh, I love it. We've taken care of our plants, worked with our gold. The next thing I want to do is work with plastic. We have all of this plastic, which can make us a still suit. We'll have to empty this crucible out real quick before we can melt it down, but I believe we can make a still suit now. Aside from the plastic, the rest of the still suit's composition seems to be made up of rubber and string. Getting rubber shouldn't be this difficult with this sapling right here, which grows into a rubberwood tree. Let's go ahead and spam this thing with bone meal. Ooh, that is a nice tree. And then we'll chop it down, and I think for the rubberwood logs, we have to put them in a furnace to actually extract the rubber. This thing better give me saplings. If it doesn't, the tree's extinct, because that was our last one. Thank God we got saplings. I was a little worried there for a second. I wasn't seeing any dropping, but we got 5 of them. Oh, we're in good hands. So let's take the 7 that we have, throw them into the furnace, and now we wait. So while this is processing, it's time to melt down our plastics. I went ahead and emptied the porcelain crucible. There's plenty of space here now. Not really sure how many we're gonna need to make an ingot. Time to find out. And I can't put it in the porcelain crucible. Uh-oh. Think we may have to upgrade our smeltery setup here. Now usually, I go about that by making this. Seared bricks. It is the base item for Tinker's Construct. You use it to make the smeltery. Well, the blocks of the smeltery. To get seared bricks, I need grout. And it looks like grout can't be crafted. Oh no. So I was reading our guide here. Task number 5, salvage operation. It makes a lot of sense now. One of the quests involves getting seared bricks, which you usually find in the cities. I guess we have to go back. Although according to this, we weren't as prepared as I thought. Aside from the backpack that we have to craft, another recommendation is what looks like a hang glider. Oh, that's exactly what it is. So to make a hang glider, we need the frame and the wings. The frame is simple, just some iron, but the wings? Leather and sticks. How would that even work? I think we'll just skip that one. However, We do need a backpack. Let's take this rubber out, cook some of our rotten flesh. We got some string, leather, a chest, and now we have a backpack. Wow, the inventory space is a lot smaller than I remember it. Yeah, we're not gonna go out with this. We gotta upgrade it. At least a copper tier. Alright, let's see what we're working with now. Wow, that is still really low. Alright, iron then. Okay, getting better. I'll add a little bit of gold. And we'll put the brakes right there because I'm not using all those diamonds. Okay, I think I'm pretty satisfied with my survival kit for the next expedition. We even have trail mix. Of course, there is one more thing I want to make before we go. This better not be a waste of leather. One wing on the right, one wing on the left, and then the frame in the middle. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a hand glider. Although, it's kind of small. Let's go ahead and claim our rewards. 16 bottles of water, 8 sandwiches, and 64 shells? Oh, we have to pick one. We're going with the shells. Just waiting for some problems to take care of themselves before we go for our test flight. So how does this even work? Oh, like that. Okay, hold on. I think there's hope. We may be able to evade all these enemies. Actually, no, the moon is rising. Let's go to bed and try it first thing in the morning. All right, here we go. Come on, 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 come on. Okay, that went surprisingly well. Only we went the wrong way. Guess we're going this way. Thank God I got some trail mix for the road. There it is. We're coming up on the city. It's a lot more eerie this time around. Or maybe it's just because I know what to expect now. We have priorities. The first goal is to find one of those workshops where we can get the seared bricks. And I think that is what we're looking for. That was fast. Now I know for a fact that there are spawners in there, so we'll have to make quick work of this building. We'll run inside, break the spawner, and we're good. As for the upstairs, same thing. There we go. All right. Why is half of this building missing? Must have been a rendering error. Oh well. But we have here the ruins of an old smelter. Look at that. And a Tinker's Anvil? No way. If you don't know, the Tinker's Anvil is an upgraded version of the tool station that we have. We can put together so many things, including, but not limited to, big shovels. Big shovels, folks, which we can use to dig through the dust. Plus, we have this old smeltery set up here, which I think we can recycle. Let's go ahead and collect this. Better drop when I break it. Thank God it did. We got some drains here. A smeltery controller. Oh, we'll need that. And now we have the leftovers. The crumbling seared bricks, which I don't think we can use. We'll have to repurpose these. I did read somewhere that we can actually break them down and get regular bricks to make the block, well, brand new. And of course, we are definitely taking this anvil. And the chest has free casts! We're definitely gonna have to stop by the other stations as well. If this place had this much, just imagine what the rest have. Oh my god, more casts. Alright, not bad. I believe there was another one nearby. Haha, there it is. Once again, speed is the name of the game. Rush in, break the spawner. That's it. Broke number 1. And done. We're good. We're safe. Thank God. And look at that. The skies are clear. I don't know about you, but to me, that's a good sign. And essentially, we're going to do the same over here as we did over there. Collect the blocks and repurpose them. There's another building over there with the same pickaxe symbol as that one. I wonder if they're the same. Oh, they must be the same because it has a chimney. This one is a lot bigger, though. I don't think we'll be able to break the spawners in time. We have to keep our gun by our side. Oh, this one is loaded with enemies. Back up. Oh, I hate creepers. We got the lone spider. You're not hostile, are you? No, you're not. Let's circle around the building's perimeter, see if we can get a good sign of what's going on in here. I don't see spawners. I do see enemies. What kind of creeper are you? Dark creeper. There was a chest here. Maybe we can pick at that from the outside. Oh, more stuff that we already have. Maybe we'll just skip this then. If it's a lot of the same, I don't want it. Alright, what do we got going on in here? More of those chips. Paper, some gold coins. I hope we can do things with these coins. There are so many of them, and I'm filling my inventory with them. Ooh, plastic. We'll need that. This tower seems pretty safe. Oh no, that's a spawner. Break that. Another kitchen. Roasted peanuts. And onion seeds? I think we have onion seeds, but I'll take them. Well, the sun is setting. Thankfully, there's a bed here, so it's time to make ourselves at home. Alright, first night in the city. Not that bad. There must be a zombie spawner up here. There it is. Alright, that's taken care of. Nothing in here. What about the upper level? No spawner in this room. Or this one. But there's a ton of cabinets to open. Blaze spawner! Oh my god! Okay. It just got really quickly. Alright, let's keep calm. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We did break it. All we have to do is take him out. Did we get him? Okay. He's gone. I think that was the last one. I'm hearing a lot of blaze activity next door, though. Ooh, there's a piglin here. Then the last level with a baby skeleton. I think we're good. Alright, we made it to the top. What do these do? Oh, they're just for show. What a nice view. You know, if we wanted to hang glide out of here, we could. We would get a lot of distance, save ourselves some water and food, because it doesn't tick down when we hang glide. Alright, now that the building is cleared, it's time to go check out what we have. I spent the next day searching through every cabinet in this building. There were a lot of seeds for a lot of plants, and that's when I found this. Oh my god, no way. Is that what I think it is? We have a rifle. A new weapon to add to our arsenal. Kinda small looking though, but geez, you can actually see inside the barrel. Well, now we know that there are weapons here. We just have to find them. This place just got a whole lot more interesting. This day just keeps getting better and better. We found another one. The only difference between the two is that this one is green and this one is silver. And that's a pistol. This is so cool. What's the reload animation look like? That's funny looking. Oh, and then these are gold blocks. Wait, can we... Oh, we can't mine them. That's a shame. They're just decorative. Oh no, we can't collect them! We're gonna have to convert it back to a regular gold block, though. It's got a texture that prevents me from crafting. Why couldn't I mine the other one? Well, that certainly yielded more than I thought it would. That's what I'll say about that. As for this building, this one doesn't have anything. I hear pigmen, but I don't see spawners aside from the one I just broke. Oh! Right there. Right there. Right there. Where are you spawning from? Where's the spawner? Unless it's above. Oh, it is from above. Yeah, they can't climb down ladders. We don't have to explore this whole thing. Just these levels. At this point, I'm getting greedy because I have more than I need. Oh, wait, never mind. Diamonds. Yeah, that's not greedy. I did not know this place was going to be dropping diamonds like that. What a good day of exploration. Give it up for day 2. Alright, that's it. I think we gotta go back now. My backpack is full. My inventory is full. We got diamonds. Yeah, I'm not gonna lose this. Now, if we could just get to the top of one of these buildings, maybe we can glide some of the way there. But which one is safe? Yeah, we'll just have to take a chance and run to the top of one of them. It's gonna have to be one of these ones. They're closest to the house. Fingers crossed there is nothing in these upper levels. No, I hear a pig man. And there's blazes in there. You know what? We'll just walk. Home sweet home. That was a very productive journey. Gotta say, our house could use a serious makeover, but you know what? For a crash site, it's not that bad. Look at that! The beans actually grew! We have a nice source of protein now. Don't have to raise animals anymore. Speaking of protein, what happened to the chicken that we had here? Did it die? Well, it's not here anymore, which means we are on our own again. That is a shame. Alright, we have a decent amount of food. Although, if we're not careful, we're gonna eat through all of it quickly. Plus, we have a ton of water and a lot of peanut butter. On top of that, we have a new setup to build. I'm gonna go ahead and plant these brand new beans. Lovely. Over here, it's time to get organized. Up here, we're gonna store all of our wheat and potatoes and anything related to farming. Plus, I hear that if you plant different types of crops next to each other, they're more likely to grow faster, which is excellent to know because we have a lot of seeds. We'll go ahead and plant the sweet berries over here off to the side. 1, 2, 3, and then... what the heck? 4. So now that we have our little crop situation out of the way, it's time to address the bigger picture, our smeltery setup. We went out of our way to the city to collect these blocks right here, the smeltery controller. the sear drain, plus the 5 smeltery brick blocks, and the 29 crumbling seared bricks. Now, these seared bricks, I think they are as good as useless, at least in their current state. We're gonna have to refurbish them, and to do that, we have to break them down to their base form. Now, to break down the crumbling bricks to their base form, which is the simple seared brick, we're gonna have to dabble in a little bit of Create mod. We can either break them down by milling the block, which will yield 1 guaranteed brick, plus an additional 3 with a 50% chance of them spawning, or we can also use crushing wheels, but it's basically the same and more expensive, so we won't go that route. So yeah, it's time to do the Create mod. Now, when it comes to the Create mod, I think it's safe for me to say that I know my way around this mod. We've done it dozens of times on this channel, but according to our terminal, there is a suggested guide that we should follow. And the first thing we have to accomplish is, of course, making ourselves andesite alloys, the base item for every Create mod machine. To make andesite alloys, obviously, we're going to need andesite, which we can get by getting cobblestone and combining it with quartz. Of course, as you all know, when it comes to getting cobblestone, that's going to prove to be a little difficult when the planet's entire composition is dust. So we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. That's right, we're making a cobblestone generator. All I have to do is scoop this up and pray I don't screw it up, because this is our only lava source, and if I turn it into obsidian, well, that's the end of us. Okay, I'm a little nervous. Honestly, it's been a while since I've made a cobblestone generator. Plus, we're gonna do it down here, because a lot of our stuff is made out of wood. We're not trying to start a fire. I guess down here will work. If I remember correctly, you dig a hole in the ground, just like this. There has to be a hole right here. You know what? No. We're gonna keep this simple. There's a better way of going about this. There is always a better way. One that I've used in multiple videos, so why wouldn't I use it now? We're gonna make some stairs. Then we're gonna waterlog the water. I have enough of these stone pebbles to make some cobblestone here. Need something fire resistant. Do some stairs. Make some trapdoors. To this day, I have yet to figure out whether trapdoors will actually... I know they'll catch on fire, but will they burn? Well, yeah, we'll use that to trap the lava and the water. Here's hoping this works, because if it doesn't, that's the end of me. Actually, we can do it like this. We don't need the trapdoors. Okay, so we have our stair right here. Let's pour the water in. And then the lava... Oh, boy. Oh, thank God. Okay, we're good. First try. Now, I can't imagine we're going to want to spend too much time down here. Oh, come on. This is the one thing I hate about cobblestone generators. Always burning my blocks in the lava. Look at that. So we're just going to keep at this for a while, and eventually we'll have enough to start making some andesite alloys. Okay, we have a stack of cobblestone, which is perfect because as soon as I broke that last block, my pickaxe broke. Let's go ahead and repair the pickaxe and make ourselves some andesite alloys. So once again, to make andesite alloy, obviously we need andesite. So we'll take our cobblestone, combine it with some quartz, and that generously gives us 2 andesite blocks. Wow, I didn't know it was going to be 2. 16? It's not really that many, but it'll do for now. Next, we'll combine the alloy with some iron nuggets. I think it also works with zinc. Is that zinc? Yeah, that's zinc. Which to use? I guess it just comes down to which is more abundant. I think it's going to be iron. We've never really found that much zinc. Yeah, I guess we're using iron. And that gives us 13 andesite alloys, nowhere near enough, but maybe we can get by with this. Here's hoping that our terminal gives us a reward for this task. No, it did not. We have to make andesite casings and shafts. Okay. Alright, making an andesite casing is simple. You just take a log, you strip it, and then you click it with the andesite alloy. And then the shafts, just 2 andesite alloys stacked on top of each other. It gives you 8 of these. And with that, we've completed a very simple task. Let's go ahead and claim our reward, which is 8 more quartz. Thank God, we're gonna need it. And now, oh, look at that, rotational power. Guessing we have to make ourselves a hand crank. Making a crank is really simple. 3 planks plus an andesite alloy. With this, we'll have rotational power, which means our machines are going to be functional. All you have to do is place it, and then by clicking it, it's going to rotate, and that's basically it. Now that we've claimed that reward, it's time to get into the nitty-gritty. We're going to make ourselves some cogs. You can't have a machine without cogs, and there are 2 variants. You got the small one and the large one. Let's go ahead and make some of those. And then the large cogwheel is essentially the same. All you have to do is add more planks. And that is a water wheel. I made the wrong thing. Oops. I guess my memory is not as sharp as I thought it was. I think we combine it with planks. Yeah, there you go. You take a small cogwheel, you combine it with planks. There, now you have a large cogwheel. On to the thing that we need the most now. I've never seen this before. I don't know what this is. A mechanical extruder? We'll probably get into that later. What we want is the millstone. With the millstone, we'll be able to grind up all of the blocks we want. Specifically, this, our crumbling seared brick. Once we grind this, we'll get resources so we can make a new forge. Let's go ahead and make a millstone. There it is. One small cogwheel, one andesite casing, and one stone block. This yields you one beautiful millstone. We're one step closer to upgrading our forge. All we have to do is power it up. Now, when it comes to giving this machine power, it's pretty simple. We have everything we need, although the setup won't be as effective as I'd like. Probably fill this in with planks. We're running out of space upstairs, and it'd be nice to have a workshop down here. Let's go ahead and do that. We got plenty of slabs. Let's just fill this in, and hopefully spiders won't spawn underneath. For some reason, there are mobs all over my base. They love hanging out under my platforms. It's always spiders or husks, and it's a little annoying because I hear their sounds every hour of every day. Please don't let that be the case here. Okay, this looks a little rough, but it'll do for now. We'll put down our millstone, we'll put down a cogwheel, but not like that, that's wrong. We'll put down the cogwheel here, and then I believe we have our hand crank, yes. And then from there, it's as simple as just throwing the item in from the top and activating it with the hand crank. Usually this is automated by, I don't know, a steam engine or a water wheel, but we don't have that. And honestly, using water like that in this planet seems a little extravagant. Alright, we have our blocks here. Here's hoping we get as many bricks out of this as possible. Let's go ahead and grind them up, and honestly, I can't say how long it'll be. I said before, usually this is powered by a bunch of other things. I just set it and forget it, but here, no, we gotta put some love in this time. We have to make sure that this is done right. That also sucks up a lot of my water. No wonder I was dying. Jeez, okay. Can't forget to drink water. Oh, look at that, we already have 8 seared bricks. We're right on track to succeeding. Although, honestly, I don't think I want to be turning this crank. Let's make a water wheel. You know what, why not? Alright, so the water wheel basically does as the name implies. It is a wheel for water. I'll show you how it works if you've never seen it before, because somehow in 2026 people have yet to play Create Mod. Don't know how. So you put the water wheel next to, I guess a large cog, that works. And then we go down here, we'll just use this bucket of water because it's not being used at the moment. And all we have to do is just pour it over the water wheel, like this. Wait, let me just place a slab here. Don't want it getting all over. Okay, like this. And with that, we have rotational power. The millstone is operating on its own. We're not wasting any of our own hydration. It is the future. Probably should have added some torches. It's probably way too dark for you guys. There we go. Now you can see this creation in all of its glory. We are up to 13 seared bricks, with 23 crumbling seared bricks still being processed. So, let's just set it and forget it. Let's move on to something else while we wait for that. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there was another machine that we had to work on. What is that? Mechanical extruder. I've never seen one of these before in Create Mod. So after reading the brief description, I guess this thing is a fancy cobblestone generator. But it doesn't just generate cobblestone, it makes other stone-type blocks too. You have to flank it with water and lava, and then once it's powered by something, it starts pressing them together to make you blocks, just like that. Think we may want to lean in that direction, because mining the cobblestone by hand takes way too long. To make one of these, we're gonna need some glass, a casing, and a shaft. That's not that expensive, we can do that. Oh yeah, we definitely have the sand to spare. Alright, let's go ahead and cook this up. Hopefully we can get through 4 blocks before the fire goes out, because I'm all out of fuel. Should probably make more charcoal. And yeah, we'll just wait for the glass. And once that's done, we'll make the block. We're all good to go. Let's go ahead and craft this thing. And now let's take a look. It's a pretty interesting looking block. Got a lot going on here. So this button right here, this looks like a recipe filter. All we have to do is click it with an item. So if we wanted to make basalt, we set the filter to basalt. If we wanted, I don't know, cobblestone, we set it to cobblestone. Although I think cobblestone is the base item, so it'll work with or without the filter. Let's go ahead and set this up now. I want to set this up, see how it's going to work. Don't know where we're going to get the rotational power, though. How's this doing over here? Oh, this is almost done. We got 4 more blocks left. We'll set this aside just a little bit longer. To power that new block, we are going to need another water wheel, so I'm using these potatoes to make dirt blocks. Alright, this is going to look like garbage, but oh well. So if I'm not mistaken, all we have to do is place this here. We'll scoop up that lava, contain it within the glass. Don't want this burning everything. Just like that. And then next we need water. Same thing for the water, I guess. And once we give this power, we should be good to go. Oh, I have to power from behind though. Oh, that's gonna be annoying. Hold on. Let me clean this up. We'll put the water wheel right here. And then we'll pour it like so. And this thing is moving. You can see that turning on the inside. Just barely though. And now we add the rest. Perfect. Here's hoping this works. Okay. I think it's working. Yeah, we have 1 cobblestone inside of the extruder. That block is burning. Uh-oh. Oh, we have to be careful about that. Oh, wait. It just turns charred. It doesn't actually go away. If that's the case, then I think we can leave it. My main fear is that this is going to go away, and the water's going to pour and convert the lava into obsidian. We're not taking that risk. We'll just... Wait. Is that a flame charge? Can we get flame charges like this? It is a flame charge. Wow. All right, we learned something new. Anyways, now how do we actually extract this? Well, there are a few ways. I'm probably going to go with the cheapest one. When in doubt, hopper out. We're going to use the classic Minecraft block to siphon all of our cobblestone into a chest. Let's put together the chest here, and then the hopper. The only thing I hate about hoppers is how tricky it is positioning them. Let me get under that machine real quickly here. The chest will go right here, I think. No, right there. Hopefully the hopper can extract from here. And there we have it. Cobblestone is being filtered into the chest. Well, funneled into the chest. I guess filtered was the wrong word for that. But I'm stuck. This is obnoxious. See if I can swim out through here. We're probably violating a ton of safety standards. There. 10 cobblestone and counting. As long as the lava and the water are present, this is going to be powered by the water wheel making cobblestone forever. Let's go check on our seared bricks upstairs. Are they done? I think they're done. Yes, they are. 66 of them. Wow. How many blocks are we going to get from this? 16. Is that going to be enough? I think that's going to be just enough. I could be wrong. All right, now we have to figure out where we're going to build this thing. Probably down here. All right, so I cleared some of the dust here just to make some more space. I think we'll put our smelter over here. So we need, let's see, 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6. I think it has to be 3 by 3 wide. We're just gonna have enough blocks, just barely, I think. We'll put our controller here. Yeah, a couple of drains there. And then last but not least, the final wall over here, which will complete the design. And with that, we have a perfectly valid smeltery setup, which means we can melt plastic and make our still suit. I'm so excited. I'll just add these blocks over here just for fun. Still works. But yeah, we have a big old setup here. Let's melt something down. Wait a minute. We need lava for fuel. Ooh, I forgot about that. To make a fuel tank, we need 8 bricks. I'm down to 2. I think we messed up. I think we messed up big time. Yeah, the thing is useless if you have nothing to power it with. How did you get inside? Oh, the door's open. Jeez. Well, I didn't want it to have to come to this, but we have no choice. Oh my god, go away. Once again, we're gonna have to head to the city to go get the items that I just wasted because I forgot we needed a seared heater. Thankfully, we have this little glider, which can take us, some of the way. Alright, let's head back to the city. Alright, we gotta be quick because I didn't really plan for a long trip. Oh, there's a workshop over there. I don't think we went to that one. Alright, we know the drill. In and out, that's it. Break the spawner. Ooh, that one was for piglin brutes. Uh-oh. Oh my god. Okay, think. Gun. There's 2 of them up there. Alright, we're gonna have to bait this one down. You know, they're kind of slow. Hope we didn't waste bullets like that, but here we go. Just what we needed. Oh, and some new casts. We'll take these too. I went ahead and collected the blocks from the smeltery. It was a quick task, just in and out, all according to plan. We are back at the base, and I have the blocks I need. Let's go ahead and get these crushed, and hopefully we won't mess up this time. Well, I won't mess up this time. Alright, I think they're done. And now that we have our bricks, let's go ahead and craft them into something more useful. So I think we need a piece of glass. Do we have glass? I'll make some glass. You take the glass block, put it in the middle, surround it with bricks, and with that we have a fuel tank. All we have to do is incorporate it into the greater build. We'll break this, and then all we have to do is just place it here. So, now we actually have a means of powering this, although we don't have lava, so once again, I didn't think this through. Wait a minute, we can make lava. All we have to do is melt down gravel, netherrack, or any type of stone. It's going to give us 250 millibuckets. Alright, let's go ahead and do that then. Lucky for us, we have plenty of cobblestone. Let's take this cobblestone, grind it up, and then once it's converted into gravel, I think we'll be able to melt it down. This is kind of taking a while. We've only got 7 blocks processed now. By the way, that wasn't a joke. What I just said, I'm not even going to address the joke, but every time I say those numbers, people comment on them. That was not the intent. Anyways, let's speed this up. Gravel's done. Let's melt this down. So this is taking way too long to melt, and I have a theory that if torches act as a heat source, then why shouldn't magma blocks? Plus, a magma block sounds like it would burn a lot more than a torch. Maybe things will start picking up. I don't see that ticking upwards. Maybe I was wrong. Let's put the torch back and see if it starts moving again. Yep. I guess magma blocks don't count as heat sources, but somehow a little flame on a torch does. Patience is the name of the game. Let's keep ourselves busy while we're waiting for this. There's a task that I want to accomplish that's going to help us get a little organized. See that drawer right there? This is going to store all of our casts. So the cast chest is pretty simple. 4 seared bricks, a chest, a seared brick block, and any type of cast. Lucky for us, we have some duplicates. We'll use one of these boot ones, and then from there, the recipe's pretty straightforward. Let's go ahead and add all of our items here, and now we have a cast chest. Just plop that right there. It's a pretty nice looking block. All we have to do is add our items in here now, and this is going to be a great way to save space, because I think there is no limit to how many casts you can add. You just right-click them and they go inside. Finally, the lava's done. Oh my god. And now that I think about it, we probably didn't even have to make this because I can scoop it out directly. Wait, can I? Yes, I can. Okay, we have one little measly bucket of fuel. This thing holds up to 4,000 millibuckets, and we're only a quarter of the way there, but I think we can make do with what we have right now. We got our plastics. Let's go ahead and add these in here. Wow, those things are melting way faster than I thought they would. Look at that. 4 buckets of plastic. Jeez. And then I think it's as simple as just pouring it out like that, right? We have plastic. I can't believe we actually have plastic. That's insane. Let's keep making more because we're about to make ourselves a still suit. Well, I don't want to exaggerate. It may be a little bit longer, but yeah, we have the stuff. 18 sheets of plastic. That's what we're going to use to make this next item, insulated hydraulic fabric. That's where we get our rubber, combine it with string in the plastic, and then we get this futuristic water-retaining fabric. Let's go find our stuff here. Okay, we have plastic, we have cured rubber, and we have some string. I think we're ready to go, folks. Put this in the middle, cured rubber in the 4 cardinal directions, and then in the corners, some string. So not only do we have to make those fabrics, but there's 2 additional items we need. A filtration pocket and an advanced camel pack, which is basically a regular camel pack surrounded by all these items. And a regular camel pack is 5 pieces of leather with a water filter, a bucket, and 2 pieces of string. Wow. This thing is supposed to keep us hydrated? Wait a minute. Why wasn't that in the basic necessities? We could have had that the whole time, made our lives a whole lot easier. Well, now we know. Let's make some water filters. Don't have a lot of paper, and all we got is the sugarcane over here. Can we bone meal sugarcane? No, we can't. Thank God there are alternative ways of getting paper. I was a little worried that we were going to have to wait for that stuff to grow. Now all we have to do is make a cutting board. We'll just put that right there. And now that we have the cutting board, we place the log on top, and then we just strip it of bark. And I think we get a piece of bark every single time. Yeah, that should be enough. Alright, so we have our paper, and then we'll also need some gravel, and there we go. 1 basic water filter, and I believe that completes one of the requirements for the old quest line that we were working on over here. Oh, there it is. It was in basic survival. We just didn't complete this quest, that's why we didn't see it. I think I suffered for nothing. Okay, let's make a camel pack. So essentially this is like a little backpack that you wear, and you can barely see it under my cape. But you wear this, it contains water, and then you drink it through a straw. All we're missing now are the filtration pockets and what looks like fluid pipes. Let's go with the cheapest one. A fluid conduit. That looks cheap. We'll start by making some composite, and like many things you have to go and bake it. So the dust becomes a conduit binder which you combine with glass, and that gives you a fluid conduit. Now that we have the fluid conduit, let's go ahead and put together our filtration pocket. We'll need a couple of these. And the annoying thing about these water filters is that they don't stack. I always hate items that don't stack. And then from there, you just combine them all. Now we have an advanced camel pack. Oh my goodness. A large wearable liquid tank that keeps you hydrated. Well, we're not done with this yet. We still have to make our still suit. Let's combine all of these items together. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our still suit. I wasn't expecting this. Look how cool that looks. It actually looks like the still suit from Dune. So I'm walking around, and are we retaining water? I think we are retaining water. Well, we're retaining water better than we usually would without it. Look at the water bar. This is without the still suit. Alright, that thing is just climbing and climbing super fast. And this is with the still suit. Yeah, I think it cut it by half, which means we don't have to drink twice as much water anymore. How's that for progress? So we have the still suit taken care of, but one thing I want to do is a little deep dive on the smeltery. You see, you can use the smeltery for more than just melting plastic. Not only can it melt metals, but it can also mix metals, like copper and tin. This makes bronze, which just so happens to be our next objective. We want to create bronze because it's a very strong alloy, and with it, we'll be able to make better tools and better armor. That and the fact that it just so happens to be our next quest. It's time to enter the Bronze Age. Up until now, we've been refining all of our ores in this porcelain crucible, but as we all know, that takes way too long. We have a ton of stuff to process, and now we have the means to do it. We're gonna do a little trial run. I believe the ratio is 3 copper to 1 tin. Let's give it a try. So, it turns out that we can't melt this. Wow, that's not what I was expecting. Hold on a minute. Alright, we're gonna circumnavigate around this and just combine them all into the ore block. Yeah, that's right, we can do that. And now, can we melt this down? I think this is deemed acceptable. Yes, it is. So that's what we're gonna do. So right now I'm sifting tons of sand to get myself some tin. Eventually, I think we're gonna have to automate this process if that's even possible. One thing I would like to automate is the production of sand and gravel, because digging for it under the dust just takes way too long. Plus, inventory space is also an issue. Just something to keep in mind for later. So we have 3 little tin blocks here, and wow, look at all that melted copper. As soon as we add the tin ore, it should combine with the melted copper to make us bronze. Let's see if that's the case here. Alright, we're reaching the melting point. And there it is! The combination is complete. We now have 3 blocks of molten bronze and 5 ingots worth of change. Let's go ahead and extract that. Now, I'm not trying to extract 1 ingot at a time. You may have noticed that upstairs I made a basin. Let me show you the basin. The basin is useful for extracting larger quantities, so we can actually move metals out by the block now. Make sure that the bronze is at the bottom, and there we go. Yeah, it really throws me off that there's no pouring animation. I wonder if that's an error with the shader. Alright, let's take a look. Yeah, it's an error with the shader. Well, that sucks. I'm gonna have to replace it. So I switched the shader from Complementary Reimagined to Complementary Unbound. That was the other shader loaded in this pack. Let's see if we can see the animation now. And we cannot. That is so weird. So we have our bronze ingot. That should complete half of the quest. Yep. So the next metal we have to get is this one. It's called Constantan. And to get Constantan, once again we have to combine copper, this time with a new metal, molten nickel. After doing some thorough sifting, we have some nickel ore blocks right here. Let's go ahead and add them as well. Here's the satisfying part. Take a look. I don't know why I like seeing the metals combined. We didn't get nearly as much Constantan as we did bronze. I think that has to do with the fact that the ratio is 1-to-1, unlike 3-to-1 with the other metal. Alright, well, we'll take what we can get. Let's get ourselves some Constantan. Makes me wonder if the Constantan is superior to bronze. We'll have to check right now. 16 Constantan ingots. That should fulfill the requirement. Alright, we've entered the Bronze Age. Let's claim our reward, which is 2 diamond apples, and we have to pick a music disc. Soothing Cinders, Cricket Song, or Rainy Mood. I'm not familiar with any of these. I'll just pick something that sounds tranquil. Let's go with Rainy Mood. So I got the apples and a music disc, though it'd be nice if I had something to play it in. Oh well. So now that we have our materials, what do we want to do with them? It's finally time to do the one thing I've wanted to do since day one. We're making a shovel. Or an excavator, if you want to be specific. We'll make the actual shovel part out of bronze. That's going to have plenty of durability. We'll make the handle out of Constantan for extra mining speed. And then the last thing we need is a collar. I'm not going to lie, I am not familiar with this item in Tinker's Construct. First time I ever see it. Oh, it's kind of like the binding. So it's what we use to attach the actual shovel head to the handle. And now we're just waiting for our collar to cool. There it is. And now let's assemble it with our Tinker's Anvil. For the very first time, we're using the Tinker's Anvil now. It works just like the other part station that we have. I don't even remember what it's called, but you know, where we make the tools. Let's click the picture of the excavator. Now we'll add our bronze large plate, the collar, and then our Constantan handles, which... Uh-oh. I made the wrong handle. We need the tough handle. I made the regular one. Alright, not to worry. The beauty about this is that if you mess up, you can just melt down the parts and use the material again. So this one is a little more expensive. It requires 3 ingots per handle. But, well, we have the ingots to spare. So let's go ahead and get to it. Okay, we have our pieces. Where were we? Right, we were adding the handles. So one here, one there. And there it is, our excavator with 2,707 durability points, melee damage of 6.1. Wow. It is beautiful. Let's test it out on something, shall we? Oh, I have an idea. Oh, I think we'll have to wait for the sun to rise, though. Alright, let's see what we're working with here. We got some creepers. Oh my god. Oh my gosh! Why are there so many? I just wanted to test out my shovel. We're gonna have to deal with this. First, that's taken care of. Let's pick off the poisonous spiders. The poisonous spiders I can deal with. Here we go. And... should I just blow them up? No. Stupid zombies are getting in the way. Oh my god, stay away. I just want to dig with the shovel. Ugh. There. Anyways, now that our base is clear of its infestation, it's time to make sure that that never happens again. We're going to use the shovel as a means of protecting our base just a little bit more. See that moat that we have? Well, it's good, but it's also limiting the space that we can use. So let's just dig a new one. Thanks to this, now we can. Digs in a 3x3 radius. Can you believe that? We are just crushing it. Alright, this is... I guess we could go a little further. We have a moat. It circles around the entirety of our base and then some. But next we're going to have to add some torches because the mobs will still be able to spawn. Just go ahead and raise this a little. There we go. Yeah. So at least now if we get creepers and zombies, they will be out here and not right in our faces. On top of that, we have much more room to build now. Plus, now that we have our still suit, we can actually work outside and use all of this land without having to hide underground like mole people. Alright, it's time to add some light. Someone in the comments said that I add way too many torches when playing Minecraft. I don't know how you can have too many torches. I know there is a specific radius where mobs don't spawn anymore if you have enough light. I don't know what that is, so I'm just gonna add as many as I deem necessary. Alright, I think this place is sufficiently illuminated. At least I hope it is. We're about to find out. And then the last thing we'll do is because the skeletons have the aim of some of the US's finest snipers, we're gonna build a wall. They can't shoot me. You know what? Why am I building it on this side? Alright, so far no monsters on this side at least. Everything else though. Jeez, look at that infestation. But here, look at the map. We are safe on our little... No, we're not. Something got through. How did you get through? Ugh, it's a cave spider. What the... Okay, things are not as secure as I hoped. We're gonna have to add more light. Judging by my map here, it looks like we have plenty of light. Yeah, nothing is spawning in here. So I guess those spiders were just anomalies. Do you guys hear that? Silence. Not a single zombie or spider. Wow, this thing worked like a charm. Okay, it's time to make some stuff. Whoa, what the heck? What kind of Enderman is that? Guy had a scar over his eye. Did you see that? First things first, we're tearing down these walls. Okay, so things are looking a little more open now, which is just what I wanted. It's time to relocate the trees out to the front. Honestly, I think it'd be a better idea to actually have trees protecting us instead of walls of sand. Yeah, we'll have a nice row of trees protecting us from all those skeleton arrows. So all we have to do is wait for the wall to grow naturally, and I think we'll be good for now. Looking at the trees now, I probably should have planted them closer to each other and maybe a little lower to the ground. Not much of a wall, is it? The only thing we're missing now is actually the materials to make, I don't know, better armor, better weapons. So let's make some machines that can help us with that. In terms of generating tons of resources, we've kinda already started. We have our mechanical extruder here, which has been churning out tons of cobblestone. Now, cobblestone is the key, because remember, once you have a steady supply of the stuff, all you have to do is break it down to its smaller components, like gravel. And when you gain enough gravel, well, you can gain plenty of resources as long as you sift it. So right now, we're gonna have to make an infinite gravel machine. Or an infinite sand machine. You know, we can probably do both, and I think this, right here outside, is the place to do it. First things first, we're gonna need a ton of leaves. You think we have enough leaves? I mean, yeah, you know what, we probably have enough leaves. Step 2, making dirt. Alright, a stack of dirt and 9 blocks. That is a lot just from these trees. I didn't even shear those ones. So now we know how much we can yield from this. We're gonna take about 20 blocks and get some water. 4 buckets of water. Will that be enough? We can try. Oh, and I just want to prove a point to you, just in case you didn't believe me. Check this out. Alright, so that was bucket 1. We got bucket number 2. Pour them next to each other. Is it gonna be infinite? Guess what? It's not. It's not infinite. You see that? So yeah, point proven, now you know. The reason we wanted all of that water is because we're going to invest in hydropower. For this machine, we are going to need a lot of water wheels. Now, where do we want to place them? Well, we could do it here. Yeah, this'll work. We'll make use of this broken engine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, you know what? That's perfect. We'll keep this extra one just in case we need a spare. This is gonna power our new machine, which is gonna make us resources. All right, I think we have a. I mean, I'm not gonna call it nice. It's kind of ugly, but you gotta work with what you got. Anyways, it's gonna work. Let's add some water, and hopefully these things will start turning. Alright, we got something going on here. We may have to make more water, though. No, not may. We will have to make more water. But this is the gist of the design right here. We're probably generating plenty of rotational power now, so we don't have to worry about overstressing our machine, which is a legitimate concern in Create Mod. Alright, so we have some decent rotational power here. I'm gonna go ahead and add the large cog, and then we'll have a small cog right here. Perfect. Then we'll add another large one, and then a small one right there. Now look, we don't need a lot of millstones, but we are going to need a few. We're gonna go and relocate this thing. Wow, that is a lot of cobblestone. So here's how we'll do it. We'll put the mechanical extruder here, so you can see it's getting rotational power. And then the change we'll make is that instead of a hopper, we're going to use an andesite funnel. And this will be the exit for all of the cobblestone that we're making. Now, where's the cobblestone gonna go? It's gonna go here, into the millstone. Millstone's gonna grind it up, turn it into gravel. Beautiful. Look at that, it's moving. Alright, so this is the ideal speed right here. Now comes the fun part. We have to add the lava and the water. We'll put the stairs right there, trapdoors on the side, and then we'll waterlog the block. I always get confused about my water buckets because this doesn't look like water. This looks like tar. And here comes the lava. If I did everything correctly, as soon as I flip this open... Oh wait, we need a wrench. Let me make a wrench. First, we're gonna have to make ourselves a mechanical press. Yeah, that's right. I had to hover over it to remember the name. We got the mechanical press here. We also need a depot. And finally, we're gonna grab some gold, see if we have any gold lying around. Oh, we got gold lying around. Wow. Let's set this up. This is gonna be the most simple thing to set up here. Alright, so we have the press here, it's being powered by the water wheels, and basically, it presses things. Slowly but surely, it is molding our gold ingots into golden sheets. Alright, we got our golden sheets. You take 3 gold, you put a cogwheel and a stick, and that gives you this beautiful create mod wrench, which lets you toggle your machines on the create mod. In this case, we want to set this to output. It's set to input right now, and you can tell because the arrow is pointing inwards. But with the click of a wrench, ta-da, it's pointing outwards now. And I'm a little concerned because I don't see anything coming out. So I made some additions. We have this nice walkway. It wasn't really essential, but I felt that we needed something pleasing to look at. Our spacecraft is kind of an eyesore, to be honest. Now, this is no, Mona Lisa either, but it's a work in progress. There's potential here. As for our machine, well, you can see that we have the setup here. We're churning out a ton of cobblestone, which is being ground up into gravel. It comes out of this belt funnel, goes down the belt, and into this chest. There you go. We have stacks of the stuff now. And it's being made at a pretty decent rate, I might add. Naturally, the next step would involve sifting this stuff. The only problem is that sifting it by hand, way too time consuming, plus it's just way too old-fashioned. There's always a better way, and I think there is. Introducing the mechanical sieve. Now, the mechanical sieve is from the same mod as the other sieves, so with that being said, I'm kind of banking on the hope that we'll be able to automate that task. Let's see how this thing works. So it takes redstone power. That's already a bad sign. We don't have any power. So we put a mesh in here, the blocks in here, and I'm assuming that the output is there. Just for the sake of testing it, let's take our flux capacitor. This thing is almost out of juice. Uh-oh. Let's put our mechanical sieve right here, and then a hopper there. Bad sign already. It's not feeding into the thing. Uh-oh. I can't drop items in here. Maybe it just needs power. Well, when it comes to generating power, the terminal was way ahead of us. There is a quest that involves making a generator, albeit a weak one. It's called Power Struggle, and the reward? Another flux capacitor. Now, I'm not kidding when I say that the name of this block is called a pitiful generator. Now, if the name is anything to go by, then we should keep our expectations low. We got our hands on one of these pitiful generators. Let's see what this thing can do. Now, I'm gonna assume that this is powered by coal, like most generators are, and I'd be right to assume so. This thing is slowly getting power. Does that mean we're able to add blocks to it now? Let's see. Not yet. You know what's missing? A mesh. We need a mesh. We'll just have to steal one of these. Pop this in right here. Now, when you take blocks, uses a lot of power to process them, though. What about from the top? Well, that's a good sign. Okay. So we figured out our problem. This thing has to have a constant supply of power and a mesh for it to take blocks. So we'll just have to figure out how to generate more power, but aside from that, we now know how this works. Now the only problem is our generator. This thing just doesn't generate enough juice. I have faith that if we keep following this progress tree, we'll eventually find something more suitable for our needs. On our path to power, we're gonna need a couple of materials. Invar and Electrum. We'll start with Invar, which is a combination of molten iron and nickel. I'm assuming that this next project is going to be a little resource heavy, so we're going to have to sift through the gravel the old-fashioned way. Alright, we got some iron, we have some nickel, and there it is. 2 blocks of Invar. Now, for whatever reason, they want us to submit the blended version. Don't know what benefits that has, but let's go ahead and blend a block. Or better yet, we'll just blend the ingot. And there it is, 1 Invar blend. That completes the first requirement. The second requirement calls for another item, this one known as Electrum. Now, Electrum is just a combination of gold and silver. And unlike Invar, this one has a balanced ratio of 1:1. For every gold, you need 1 silver ingot. We'll combine 1 gold ingot with 1 silver ore block. I think that should be 1:1. And there it is, that little sliver of pastel yellow. That's 2 ingots worth of molten Electrum. Somehow we still have some leftover silver, so I guess the silver ore dropped more than I anticipated. Let's extract our Electrum now. We have our ingots. Let's go ahead and get them blended, and that should complete the mission. Why isn't that going inside? Oh, there we go. That was fast. Alright, we got them both. Which one do we want more of? Invar or Electrum? I'm thinking Electrum. So now that we have 2 blends, they're going to lead to the creation of another block. This is called a machine frame, and I'm guessing it acts as the frame for a lot of machines we're about to make. Here's hoping that making a machine frame is not that expensive. And it looks a little expensive. Plus, there's a microchip there. That looks really familiar. Wait a minute, that's not what I think it is it? It is! Our failed PCB, which we got from the city. So what exactly are we supposed to do with the failed PCB? Well, we make a PCB blueprint. That calls for blue dye and what looks like a steel ingot. No, that's a compressed iron ingot. How do we get that? We have to blow up iron with TNT. Oh, it's been a while since I've done that. Well, it's not impossible. Plus, from all the creepers we've been killing, we should have plenty of gunpowder. Alright, 2 pieces should do it. And then we just have to pick a spot to blow this up. I'm not trying to make any craters here in the base, so I guess... Well, honestly, anywhere is perfect. Right here. So we put the TNT down, have our ingot on the floor, light it, and that should make us compressed iron. Oh, it worked! Looking at it now, we probably should have used all the iron. Oh well. Alright, we got compressed iron, which actually satisfies one of the quests. Under Pressure. I think that's what the quest was called. The reward for that, 16 ingots. Let's go make ourselves a PCB blueprint. Alright, so it wasn't expensive, but we have our PCB blueprint. Now this is going to act as a template, allowing us to make more PCB chips. But for us to accomplish that, we're going to have to craft another item. The PCB blueprint is used to craft something called a light box, and it's with this light box that we'll be able to make all the chips we need. That is a really long explanation. I'll spare you the reading and just show you. You see this? You put in one of these empty chips, goes into the light box, and it charges it up, making it into something more useful. Before we craft the light box, I think it's safe to assume that if we follow this chart here, we'll end up where we need to be. So the next thing I want to make are pressure tubes. They're pretty simple to make. All you need is a piece of glass and a couple of these compressed steel ingots. Sorry, compressed iron ingots. But can you blame me? They look like steel. We seem to have everything except the redstone lamp, which is a problem because we need glowstone, and I don't think we can go to the nether in this mod pack. Looks like the only way to get glowstone is by sifting through soul sand. How do we get soul sand? Oh my goodness, everything circles back to the first chapter. Alright, let's see this. So we have to sift through dirt and hope that we get something called mycelium spores. And then with the mycelium spores, we get soul sand? So I hear these spores are pretty rare. We'll see if we can get through it with 21 blocks. Okay, we're getting a bunch of seeds. Wow, I didn't know there were that many seeds from dirt. Still no spores though. Oh wait, no, we did get spores. Look at that. This next step veers more into magic than technology, which is a little surprising, although I guess in a way magic is a type of unknown technology. What we have to do is we're going to take these spores, add them to this dirt, and not that this next part is required, but I would like the mycelium to spread before I move on to the next step, because if we screw this up, we have to get more spores. So while we're waiting for the mycelium to spread, let's go ahead and get a barrel. I guess this one will do. And then we have to get a bucket of water. We're going to take the water, pour it into the barrel, and somehow the mycelium is going to take this water and convert it into something called witch water. You can even see the progress above. So slowly this water is going to turn like a purple color. And when that happens, all we have to do is take the sand, dip it inside, and we get soul sand. Well, there's the witch water. I'm hoping that when I dip the sand in here, we'll actually be able to retain the water and not have to go through a whole bucket every time we need a block. Here we go. Oh, we do need water every time. Well, this is going to get very expensive. I didn't think we were going to have to use so much water, so it's time to start looking for a new water source, because while getting water from dirt is great, using the leaves to make the dirt, that takes way too much time having to chop the tree and then replant it, waiting for it to grow, shearing it. We're going to use something different. Instead of using leaves to make dirt, why don't we use the humble potato? Think about it. The potato is a renewable resource. Plus, unlike the tree, it regrows on its own. And on top of that, we can increase its growth speed if we improve the soil it's growing on. If we have a bunch of potatoes growing at the same time on a massive scale, then this is just one big dirt farm in the making. I say it's worth a shot, but we do have to get a lot of bone meal. I think we're off to a good start, although we will need a little more wheat. Yeah, this should do well. I think we can put the soil here, because I'm thinking about making a contraption that's going to harvest our crops for us, but where I place it depends on whether or not I'm going to make it. Hopefully we have enough room for it here. And now all we have to do is wait for the soil to, well, compost. Huh. Thought we had more. So while we're waiting for the dirt to transition, and you can even see the progress on the texture. I never knew that was a thing. We're gonna spruce this place up a little bit, maybe extend this little walkway over here. Probably add a covering because the sun is still hot. Well, here it is, the new additions I was talking about, which you'll probably appreciate when I'm not nauseous. There we go. Yeah, I didn't think it would take this long for the compost to convert, but it's taken a while. I also made some more compost, filled in this side, now it's symmetrical, a lot more pleasing to the eye. As for the build, just a simple walkway. Like I said, I just wanted some cover from the sun. It doesn't extend completely over the farm, because, you know, plants need light to grow. So yeah, it's just over the walkway. And then we have some space here. I still have to convert these slabs to blocks because I can't texture them like I did with the blocks over here. Aside from that, I think it feels cozy. I think it's a lot better than what we had before, which was basically nothing. The only problem is that this is not symmetrical from the front. Ow. We got a blank spot right here, and I don't really know what I'm going to put there yet, so one problem at a time. Aside from that, I think it's time to plant our potatoes. Here's hoping we get a lot. Oh, it looks much better during the day. And the potatoes are already 50% grown. Wow, this compost works fast. Okay, so now that we have our potatoes, let's go ahead and make some dirt. I have a decent amount of dirt here, and now it's time to play a different angle. Earlier I mentioned that by sifting dirt you could get tons of seeds, one of which was cactus seeds that have a 0.3% chance of dropping. Well, that was with a basic flint mesh. We have a gold mesh now, and that's raised our chances from 0.3 to 1.2. Now the mycelium spores have a 1% chance of spawning, and we spawned them. With less dirt, I have almost a stack here. So why wouldn't we be able to get cactus seeds, right? And if we do happen to get cactus seeds, we can extract water from them. No more making dirt, no more growing potatoes, no more shearing leaves. Just collect the cactus, stamp it, and get water. Wish me luck. Well, look at that. What do you see there? Cactus seeds. And I think I finally figured out what we're gonna do in this blank spot. The cactus can't grow on dust. Let's go ahead and swap out the dust for sand. I kinda like the contrast between the dust and the sand. Maybe we should do that with everything here. Nah, that's too much work. Now the first cactus on this desert planet. I've never been more happy to see cactus. So now all we have to do is wait. It's probably gonna be a while. Unless, can we bone meal it? No, we can't bone meal it. Ah, okay, we gotta wait then. This is taking longer than I had hoped, so time for plan B. This alternative way of getting soul sand involves crafting a stone barrel. We'll take this bucket of lava, pour it into the barrel, and from there we have to right-click it with redstone. That gives us one netherrack block. Anyways, now that you're familiar with the process, what are we gonna do with this? Well, we're gonna crush it, of course. The reason we want crushed netherrack is because, like soul sand, if you sift through it with a good sieve and a good mesh, there is a chance you get glowstone dust. A 19% chance. I like those odds. Now, we have the means of making netherrack. The only problem is getting the equipment to crush it. These pair of crushing wheels, it's quite a process to get them. I mean, just look at this crafting recipe. And it's not just getting the materials, it's getting the machines to actually put it together. We need 21 of these crafter blocks. So, that's our goal right now. Let's make some crafter blocks, and maybe, while we're in the middle of doing that, these cactus will actually grow. We're gonna have to invent a new metal. Well, not invent, we're gonna make one though. I'm talking about brass, a combination of 1 copper ingot and 1 zinc ingot. This 1-to-1 ratio will yield 2 brass ingots, although for our purposes, we're gonna need a lot more. So let's start by melting these metals down. I have some copper ore right here, and I have some zinc over here. We are running low on fuel. We'll have to address that later. There it is, molten brass. Let's go ahead and pour this out. Well, here they are, 26 of the finest ingots in this mod pack. Brass. Now that we have them, it's time to chop down some trees because we need logs. I'm just gonna wait for these guys to burn first. We have 22 logs. We're only gonna need 21, but for the sake of demonstration, we'll convert them all. Here's what we're gonna do. First, strip them of the bark, and then with our brass ingots, we're gonna convert them into brass casings. If you're a Create Mod fan, you know where we're going with this. So we have the brass casings, but that's only a third of the recipe. We're gonna have to take this nether quartz, cover it with redstone dust, and that's gonna convert it into rose quartz. Now here's the interesting part. We gotta take paper, combine it with sand. You get sandpaper. Put the sandpaper in your offhand, and then you're gonna file the rose quartz until it comes to a nice clean shine. That's called polished rose quartz. We have the polished rose quartz. Now we have to wait for this iron to get stamped. It's kind of taking a while. Okay, well the sun's setting, but it's finally done. Give me that. Combine the iron sheets with the polished rose quartz, and that gives you electron tubes. Final thing we need, well, we already did it. A bunch of crafting tables. Combine them with the casings and the electron tube, and there they are. And I didn't know it gives you 3. Oh my god, we made more than we needed. At least we'll have some extra stuff. Alright, now this next part is pretty cool. We're gonna have to make ourselves a crafting grid. So this is where we're gonna make our crushing wheels. All we have to do is give it some rotational power, and I think we'll be good to go. There. It's not the prettiest setup, but it'll do. Alright, now to actually craft something. So if I did it properly, it should be 4 planks, a stone in the middle, and then andesite alloy all around. Hopefully this will do the trick. Huh? No, that's not the recipe. Why did it do that? You're gonna see what it looks like when it fails, because there should be another andesite right there. Oh, come on. There we go. So this is what it's supposed to look like. All the items are coming together, and then eventually we'll have our crushing wheel. It should come out from this side right here. Here we go. Better give us 2. Nice. Look at the size of these crushing wheels. Let's put them to work. Well, here it is. Simple as that, really. All you have to do is make sure that the wheels are turning inward, and that's about it. I went ahead and encased them. That way we have a platform to climb up and drop our blocks from. Let's go ahead and crush some gravel. By the way, don't fall down there. If you fall down there, you're dead. So we'll demonstrate with this gravel. It's being ground up. And once the gravel is ground up, it comes out the bottom, goes into the hopper, and enters the chest as sand. That's right, we can make sand in mass quantities. But we're not here to make sand. We're here to crush netherrack. Let's go ahead and break this down. Shouldn't take long, it's pretty instant actually. And there it is, ready to be sifted, crushed netherrack. Let's see if we can get 1 piece of glowstone. Nothing. Wow, we have terrible luck. Doesn't matter. We're gonna make a bunch of netherrack right now and have it ground up and sifted. We have the means of crushing the netherrack. Now we need the means of actually making a ton of lava. Thankfully, we already have a blueprint here. You put gravel into the crucible and it melts into lava. I even decided to automate the process a bit by adding a bunch of gravel into a hopper. It feeds directly into the crucible. That way it just keeps making lava without us having to add any. And by any, of course, I mean adding gravel. If we can multiply this, I don't know, by 10, we'd have tons of lava. The only problem is we need clay. And to get clay, you have to wash sand. Thankfully, now that we have the crushing wheels, getting sand is not a problem. Oh, look at that. Sometimes we even get clay by crushing gravel. If we're gonna wash sand, then we need a fan. Combine the propeller with a casing and a shaft. That gives you a mechanical fan. From there, we're gonna give the fan some rotational power. It's blowing a very strong current of wind. But if we were to add water in front of this fan, there's a very strong spray just splashing against that spruce trapdoor. Some sand, and we throw the stack into the spray. You can see that the sand is foaming. That's because it's getting washed, and hopefully there's going to be a lot of clay left over once it's done. I just noticed there's a little spider down there. The clay's done. 41 pieces. I think we'll wash a couple more stacks and see where we're at. I went ahead and combined the clay with the bone meal. That gives us 8 unfired porcelain crucibles. And now, all we gotta do is heat them up. Let's go ahead and add our new porcelain crucibles up here. I mean, we have all the space up here, and it's getting a little crowded down there. So for some strange reason, these torches are strong enough to create an intense heat that melts gravel down into lava. I don't know how, I don't know why, but I'm not going to question it. We'll give each of the crucibles their own hoppers, which we're going to load up with tons of gravel. I can't help but wonder if this process would be a whole lot faster if those crucibles had lava under them instead of torches. I think that would be the case, but I don't want to burn the place down. Should we move them downstairs? You know what, let's do a trial run. Let's see how quickly it takes for this stuff to melt. I got a lava bucket, so no harm here. there, crucible on top, got the hopper, and now the gravel. Oh, that looks like it's melting much faster. I think this may be it. The torch is ticking up by 1, this one ticks up by like 3. Finally, each of these tanks have their own buckets worth of lava. Let's go ahead and relocate them now. Thinking... probably here. I seriously hope this all works out. Okay, I think it's safe to say that we've somewhat automated lava. Let's make some netherrack then. The next portion was a little tedious, but I was grateful that we had a steady supply of lava. All I had to do was walk back and forth between the crucibles and the barrel, converting the lava into netherrack. Okay, we have 16 blocks of netherrack. Let's go ahead and crush them. Then we'll sift them, and we at least have to get 1 piece of glowstone from this. Come on. 1 piece of glowstone. Just 1. There's 1. 2 pieces. Alright, we are up to 2 pieces. Actually, no, I think we're up to 3. Plus, we got a bunch of other great stuff, too. We got redstone, glowstone, magma cream. What is that? Ichor ball? People say this is pronounced Ichor. I usually say Ichor. But I guess Ichor makes sense. Attempt number 2. Come on, give me glowstone. There's 1 piece, 2 pieces. We're set. Finally. Only took like half the video. We got our glowstone blocks, surround it with redstone. Gives us a lamp. And now that we have the lamp, we can finally make our UV light box. Oh my goodness, what a mission to make this one teeny little machine, which we can't even use because to activate it we need air pressure. That's why we have to craft this next item. God, it never ends. This is an air compressor, and well, it compresses air. We gotta go ahead and make some compressed stone. It's regular stone with a compressed ingot in the middle. Then you take the stone, make it into reinforced bricks, and then you just place every single item like so to make the air compressor. There it is. Let's put it right here. This thing is powered by coal, or anything that burns, and the more you burn, the more pressure you'll generate. See that hole back there? That's where all of the air is going to come out of. Unless, can we do it like this? We can do it like this. They're connected. Alright, nice. Okay, I hope it gets a little simpler from here. We're going to take these failed PCB chips. We got a blast furnace here. Let's go ahead and place it down, move over the coal. We're going to take these failed PCB pieces and melt them down, making them brand new. A nice clean slate, which you'll see has a progress bar. What is that progress bar for? Well, that progress bar shows how much progression has been made when you blast this with UV light. Let's go ahead and add some coal in here. And as you can see, the pressure is slowly ticking up. Where's that pressure going? It's being directed into the UV light box, which is active, and once this is in the green, this is going to start ticking up and it'll be fully charged. And just a reminder, because it's been a while, you want to know the reason why we're doing this, just in case you forgot? Well, it's because we're trying to make a generator to power this, our mechanical sieve, which, well, we have a generator here, but it's very weak, as per the name, pitiful generator. The new one that I want to make, it requires a new microchip, so that's what we're doing. Oh, looks like it reached the proper pressure threshold because the light's on. Wow, that is bright. So all we have to do is wait now. We will have to mine the bars on this machine, though. The pressure is building up, and while this is using some of it, not all of it is being put to use, which means that if this ticks into the red, this machine runs the risk of exploding from all of the air pressure within. Well, it took a minute, but it's finally done. Our empty PCB fully charged. So what's next? Well, we gotta dunk the thing in acid. Etching acid. Now when it comes to getting etching acid, it's not really easy to come by. We have to craft something called a pressure chamber. It allows us to combine gunpowder, rotten flesh, 2 spider eyes, all in a bucket of, what is that? Molten plastic. When you combine them at the perfect pressure, you get etching acid. So let's build a pressure chamber. Now we have a couple of options. We can craft a pressure chamber block out of iron ingots, the compressed kind. Or we can use 2 compressed iron ingots and combine it with the crushed pressure chamber wall. But for that, we'd have to go and find an abandoned oil rig. Well, this recipe certainly is a lot cheaper. I think it is worth considering. Maybe it is time to go outside again. That is not outside. Maybe it is time to go outside again. There we go. Speaking of the outside, our cactus is finally thriving. If we're gonna go out in a desert adventure, then we may as well prepare ourselves some water to drink. I think it's finally time to come and collect, while of course not injuring ourselves in the process. Ow! We'll go ahead and swap out this depot for a basin. Let's see how much water we can squeeze out of these. God, I really gotta speed up this mechanical press. 250. One bottle for every cactus, not bad. And it's purified. Oh my gosh, we don't even have to boil it. Top quality water. Look at all that delicious thirst-quenching water. Let's go out and adventure. Here's hoping we find an oil rig. Wow, we have been walking for quite some time now. You can see the distance there back to the house. This is the flattest plain of sand I've ever seen. With the exception of a single ruin out there, there is nothing. I thought we'd find a power plant a lot sooner, but that doesn't seem to be the case. It's just like an ocean of sand. Look at this. An actual wasteland. There's stuff over there. Little things peeking out of the sand. What is that? Look at that on the map. There's like blotches of something. Don't tell me that's what I think it is. Oh my god, it's skulk. There are skulk sensors. Why are there skulk sensors out in the wasteland? And that is a warden. 2 wardens. Yeah, we're gonna keep our distance. Oh my god, there's 4 now. Why are there so many? There's gotta be a spawner here somewhere. Well, that is literally behind us now. Just gotta keep going forward. Sundown. Absolutely nothing. I think I have every right to be a little concerned now. Yeah, we better dig down. We are being followed by a sand block. What is happening? What are you? Dust? Oh my god! Well, I made the call to go back home after realizing that the distance we've traveled, well, I think we only have enough water for the way home now. But I did come across something new. It's like the other town, but this one is a whole lot smaller. Wait a minute. Oh my god, this is not a town. Is this entire thing a factory? Yeah, this is a factory. Where do we even begin? Oh, and those are enemies. Oh my god, there's so many. We, seem to have a problem here. Oh my god! They're trying to get me through the window! At least none of them have bows. Oh my god, that's a blaze. Okay, I think we're gonna retreat now. Yeah, I think retreating sounds like a great idea. Get back! Okay, that just happened. I think we just took care of a small colony of pigmen. This place is a substitute for the Nether, because that is a magma cube. Alright, here's what I'll do. I need a lot of blocks. That should do it. We have to take into account that there are blazes there too. We'll scale this tower, hopefully before the swarm is alerted, and that will be soon. No, that's actually now. Alright, let's stack. Anything or anyone up here? No, looks safe. Is this like a bastion? Oh ho ho! We're gonna block these stairs. Oh, that's a place. The spirit of the Nether is alive and well, at least on this planet. Factory blocks. Can we do anything with these? And seared bricks! We can incorporate this into our smeltery. Make a bigger one. Plus we have some scorched stone. Is this building dedicated to forging? Oh my god, it goes super deep. We'll have to get to the bottom, but how? Sun is setting, it's day 100. I think we'll have to save the mystery of this massive forge for another video. That is if you want one. Yeah, folks. I think that's going to be it for today. There are a ton of enemies and we are out of time, but I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed, and if you want 200 days, you already know what to do. Don't forget to like, hype the video, comment your favorite part down below, and hopefully I will see you next time, although I'm not too sure. There are a lot of enemies here who want to rip my face off. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Doublesal. Have a great day.